yo, 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 yo. What's going on? What's happening, people? How we doing? How we feeling? Checking in this thing real late night, man. Hope everybody doing well. Know it's been a minute, y'all, but we are here tonight. You know what I mean? We're gonna try to do a couple hours tonight. I don't anticipate being here, very long, but we are here tonight, man. Hope everybody's doing good. Everybody's doing well. As we've been going through this heat wave in my part of the country, the southeast region, so I'm not really sure about the weather for the rest of the world. But as I've already told y'all plenty of times, I like the hot weather. I love summertime. I love springtime. So I've been A-okay with it. You know what I mean? I've been good with it, But I know everybody doesn't necessarily like hot weather, and that's cool too. But I've been real good with it, man. When it does get this hot, that lets us know football is almost here. At least training camp is almost here. Training camp will be here next month, about a month from now. So, we almost there. we are almost there. Falcons football, and I'm more than ready for it, man. So, as usual, I cannot wait. I cannot wait, man. So, we're gonna come in tonight and we're gonna talk a little bit about some things. We're gonna talk about Michael Turner. He has some comments recently about Tyler Allgeier, Bijan Robinson, and the Atlanta Falcons offense. And I was actually glad to hear him speak about it because Tyler has been kind of compared to Michael Turner in more ways than one. And I say in more ways than one. Similar body build, similar running style. Also a very, very similar situation. As we all know, Michael Turner was LaDainian Tomlinson's backup out in San Diego. And Tyler Allgeier is now Bijan Robinson's backup in Atlanta. And it's crazy how history tends to repeat itself, because not only stylistically does Tyler and Michael Turner, have similarities in style, but Bijan and LaDainian Tomlinson have similar stylistics in how they run the ball, so they kind of really look like each other, looks like 20 years later, that back. Has it been 20 years? Well, we'll just say 20 years. It's been long enough. Yeah, it has been about 20 years. Because Michael Turner came here in 2008. Damn, I'm getting old, man. It's been 20 years. But yeah, so we're gonna listen to what Michael Turner said and discuss that, and also talk about that as well. Before we do that, let's holler at everybody in the chat real quick. We got our guy Millie Mills in the house. What's going on, Millie? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Appreciate you coming in. Miss Lisa is in the building. What's happening, Lisa? How's it going? Lisa, I was in Atlanta all day today, and I see Jermaine got the So Deaf billboard back up in the city. Not in the same spot, of course, but it's close to where it was originally. But it was good to see it back up there. It was good to see the billboard back up in the city. Home. Welcome to Atlanta, home of So Deaf recordings. Got our dog Cool C is in the building. What's up, Cool C? Representing that 770. Shout out to the whole 770 in the house. My brother Cool C, hope you doing good, my friend. Got our other brother in the house, Tonio Henderson, in this thing. What's going on with Tonio? Hope everything going good, man. Hope you are doing well. We got Shorty Red in the house. What's up with you, Red? Southwest Atlanta, 2 strong, representing that 404. Shout out to everybody in the 404 and all that bad traffic, man. Boy, every time I think I'm about to okay, I say to myself, somewhat frequently, yeah, I'm about to go ahead and, move up to Atlanta. And then that traffic reminds me why I don't need to move up there. Man, that today, and maybe because we're on the brink of we're on the brink of a holiday. And not only that, I was up there in rush hour. I was on the interstate like around 4 o'clock. So it was absolutely madness. I mean, absolutely madness. Absolutely madness, man. The traffic was crazy. Crazy. Lisa says Tyler's uncle's quite vocal on X. Yes, he is. I'm pretty sure we follow each other too. I forget his name, but he is pretty vocal. I saw he tweeted something out maybe a couple weeks or a few weeks ago, indicating that Tyler. I don't want to put like words in his tweet, but the way I read it was Tyler. Good chance he may not be with Atlanta past this year. That's kind of how I read it. Like he has a real uncertain future here, which I do understand. You know, as Tyler Allgeier, he could start on more than half of NFL teams. And you talk to a lot of people in this. Well, you talk to some people in this fan base, and even to this day, and no disrespect to Bijan, even to this day, they'll tell you like we should have continued to use Tyler as a starter and just went elsewhere in the draft. But can't keep crying over spilled milk. So we won't get into that tonight. But that's a sentiment. And I'm quite sure his uncle is among those group of people that actually think that also. Tonio says, I seen Tyler today at Fort Benning. Shout out to Fort Benning. That's in Columbus, right? Isn't that Columbus, Tonio, Fort Benning? He signed my son's jersey and got pics with him. He had a huge turnout at his autograph signing. So shout out to your son on that, man. I know he enjoyed that. If that is Columbus, man, I used to party hard down in Columbus, man. I know I done told y'all that before. But I had some fun times in Columbus, man. Man, I had some good times in Columbus. Shout out to Columbus. What county is that? That Chatham County? Tony, in that Chatham County? Or is that Savannah? Damn, how could I forget the county in Columbus? Veterans Parkway. Good time in Columbus, man. Man, the military women down there, boy. Whoa. Don't get me started tonight. Don't get me started. Coach in the house. What's going on with your coach? What's up, Tyler? Almost that time. Almost that time. It is almost that time, man. I can't wait. Looking forward to it. Lisa says, yes, the So-So Death sign is back. I have missed it all these years. Me too. Like I said, when I saw it today, I was glad to see it back up there, man. That was one of the pinnacles, you know, of Atlanta in a sense for a very, very long time. So I was happy to see it back up there, man. I know, you know, now that we got AI and Chat GPT and all that stuff on social media, the Mount Rushmores are kind of a trendy thing, which I've definitely participated in social media. You know, it gets a lot of engagement going. You know, people say, you know, this person should be on the Mount Rushmore. This person should be on the Mount Rushmore. It's a good conversation starter and a good dialogue piece. But with me, anytime I participated in the Atlanta Mount Rushmore things, and I'm gonna drop the link to y'all. I just put the link in the chat. But anytime, you know, when the like people say, man, who on the Atlanta Mount Rushmore rappers? That been pretty friendly too, because you know Atlanta is now known as, I don't want to disrespect New York and say the hip hop mecca, but it's the trendy spot right now in hip hop. You know, New York had it for a while, LA had it for a while, and kind of, you know, Atlanta got it right now. Even though LA trying to take it back, so I don't know. Atlanta, we got to have a big 2026, so that, you know, we may lose it. But anyway, the Atlanta Mount Rushmore question is always, maybe controversial isn't the correct word to use, but it's always it's a good conversation, good debate piece. I always put Jermaine Dupri in mind. And the reason is I'm not like a huge Jermaine Dupri fan. I don't ride around listening to Jermaine Dupri. Uh, I throw "Welcome to Atlanta" remix on there every now and then because I like that song. I like the remix more than I like the original song. Actually, I like Snoop's verse on there. I also like Diddy verse, but we won't go into that. Um, but outside of that, I don't really be around bumping Jermaine Dupri. But the reason I include him on my Mount Rushmore is because the importance that Jermaine had on the hip hop game in Atlanta, really the urban music part, the modern day part. And when I say modern day, I'm talking about 90s, and he really pioneered it. Although he had the kid acts, Bow Wow and Crisscross, but Jermaine was there in the beginning. He was there during the Freaknik times. You know what I mean? Before the Olympics, repping Atlanta, and he had success. He also worked greatly. He had a big part in TLC's first projects too. The point I'm trying to make is, if Jermaine Dupri doesn't shine the light on Atlanta and get those big record companies in New York, a few of them in LA, because back then you had a lot of record labels. But if Jermaine doesn't start making noise in Atlanta, a lot of people don't get a budget. When I say get a budget, like when L.A. Reid and Babyface, they had their headquarters down here in LaFace, I think they got that due in part to Jermaine making noise. So who knows? Without Jermaine, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Outkast, because that's my favorite group. If you know me, I'm a big Outkast. Got a fly here. A big Outkast fan, big Andre 3000 fan. But without Jermaine, LaFace may not have got a label imprint. LaFace may not have got a budget. And if LaFace don't have a budget, that means they don't have money to sign artists. So, and timing is everything. And at that point in time, you had Outkast, Goody Mob, rest in peace, Rico Wade, all of them working in the dungeon, making music, trying to get signed, trying to get heard. So if Jermaine don't do what he do, maybe those record labels in New York don't start sending money to Atlanta. Like, hey, we hear y'all, we see y'all down there. Maybe Andres one day said, man, bump this rap stuff. I'm gonna be a painter. Maybe Big Boy said, man, bump this. I'm about to move back to Savannah and get me a job. So that's why I put Jermaine in my Atlanta Mount Rushmore, because the person, I forget his name. I used to know when I was younger and I used to read more. But the person who originally created the official Mount Rushmore, the official statue, it was based on the most important people in American history at that point in time. It wasn't the best, it was who he saw as the most important. And to me, Jermaine is definitely one of the 4 most important people in Atlanta rap music history. I'm not saying best. Now, if you taught me to pick my best rappers, Jermaine will go up there. But when you say Mount Rushmore, I correlate that with importance. So I put Jermaine up there. Sorry, y'all. I know I went off on a tangent there. We got our brother James in the middle. What's going on with you, James? How you doing, man? What's happening? We also got Daniel Berry highlights in the building. What's going on with you, Daniel? How you doing, bro? Okay, Tony. Yes, that is Columbus. Okay, I thought it was Columbus. Lisa said, yeah, I read his Uncle Twist the same way. Basically, Tyler might be gone in 2026. I think he probably is as well. Muskogee County. Yes, Muskogee. How could I forget? Named after a Indian tribe. How could I forget? Lisa says, JD definitely on the Atlanta hip hop Mount Rushmore. Yeah, he on mine. I definitely put him on mine. Like I say, it's just the importance, man. Like, before Atlanta got hot, y'all who old enough to remember, back when New York and LA was battling, Atlanta was kind of forgotten, and when I say forgotten, I mean that literally. Hence Andre 3000 going to the Source Awards. Hey, the South got something to say. That's all I got to say, because people were overlooking Atlanta and a lot of the southern states. It was just in New York and LA. That's it. That's it. So, say without Jermaine, man, and all that earlier work he did, and I might be wrong, but I think I'm right. I think Criss Cross. I might be wrong, but I think I'm right. But I think Criss Cross is the first rap group from Atlanta to go platinum. I might be wrong, but I think I'm right. I'm pretty sure Criss Cross is the first rap group in Atlanta to go. No. Gotta take that back. I take that back. They're not. It might have been TLC is the first female group out of Atlanta. That's probably what I'm thinking. But Another Bad Creation, they went platinum before Criss Cross. So, I was wrong on that part. But anyway, you can't tell the story of the hip hop scene in Atlanta without the Jermaine Dupri chapter. And he was here first. He pioneered a lot of stuff. So he's on my mind. Red says JD was definitely influential and important to the Atlanta music scene. I agree, Teddy. Yes, definitely. Very important to the Atlanta music scene, not just hip hop too. R&B as well. He wrote and produced, arguably, I'm not gonna say the best, but arguably one of the best R&B albums of all time. That Usher album, that Confessions. Oh man, that Confessions still slap today. I'm talking about, I still slap today. Jump, man. They had me wearing my pants backwards back in the day. But anyway, let's get on to the Falcons, man. Let's bring Coach on the stage. Coach, my friend, my brother, what's going on with you, man?
What's up, brother? What's up? Hey, I just want to say this real quick. I ain't gonna let y'all disrespect this, man. You can't have a Mount Rushmore of Atlanta and not put Big Draco on there. Like, yeah, Goody Mob was known. Draco, Soldier Boy. Yeah, bruh, listen. Yeah, Goody Mob was known. Yeah, Outkast was known. But the explosion in Atlanta did not happen until Draco hit the scene. That's a fact. He can't rap for shit, but the whole snaps on beat movement happened because of him, which in turn blew up Atlanta.
What? Coach, have you been drinking?
No, I'm dead ass.
So
the whole he is the godfather of the snaps on beat era. He started it.
So you saying Soldier Boy is on the Mount Rushmore of Atlanta rap?
He should be, yeah. Yes.
Oh God, no.
Again, I'm not saying that dude can rap, but had it not been for him, the explosion that happened in Atlanta probably would not have happened. That's what I'm saying. Think about that time, bro. The whole immediately after he came out, the whole snaps on beat situation just went bananas, and then you had your crime mobs, everybody. I mean, just Atlanta just blew up after that.
No, Atlanta was already popping before Soldier Boy.
Bro. Maybe in Atlanta, I'm telling you, for outside of Atlanta, it did not blow up until Soldier Boy.
So
that's when everybody was on your TV.
Atlanta didn't blow up with Outkast and their peak?
No, I'm saying Outkast was known, yes, but no one was checking for Atlanta until Soldier Boy blew up Atlanta, and that's a fact, bro.
So they went checking for
the Dungeon family,
right?
Yeah, again, they were known. I'm talking about what the way we know Atlanta now musically. Outkast, Goody Mob, none of them did that.
Atlanta became the Mecca in the early 2000s, not 2005, 2006. You can even go back in the 90s.
Okay. Again, I'm telling you from someone who has traveled the world and has never lived in Atlanta, I am telling you that Soldier Boy was his initial his rise to stardom is what catapulted Atlanta for sure. Then you had DJ Oomph, like everything after that just exploded.
So
I mean, you couldn't miss.
You just gonna skip over the Lil Jon and the Crunk era and give that credit to
But that's what I'm saying. That followed after. That's what I'm saying. But that is exactly my point. And his snaps on beat.
No, Lil Jon actually was before Soulja Boy.
I know. Bia, Lil Jon is one of my favorite producers. Bia, the whole East Siders album, the original one was Crunk for sure. But I'm telling you, no one had heard. No one in Japan was bumping anybody from Atlanta. No one in North Carolina was bumping anyone from Atlanta. No one in Cali. No one in Cali was bumping anyone from Atlanta. I'm telling you, once the snap on the beat happened, that's when Atlanta blew up, and that literally is a fact.
So you telling me a young T.I., a young Jeezy, when nobody bumping them when they came out?
Young Jeezy, but Young Jeezy.
Both of those guys had multi-platinum albums before Soulja Boy came out.
No, they did not. Soulja Boy was before them, bro. Look,
he was not.
Yes, he was. Young Jeezy was like 2006.
No,
Soulja Boy was.
No, Jeezy came out in like 05, his first album. But that Trapper died.
That's what I just said.
No, you said
that's a little. Okay, 05, 06, excuse me.
Trapper dying, all the other mixtapes was out in like 04. And then you got 03 and 04. Then you got T.I., he came out like 2001.
Again, a local T.I. didn't blow up until what's that? Trap music, urban which one was it? I think it's Urban Legend or trap music, I believe it is actually.
Trap music.
What 24s and Rubber Band Man and all that on it. Yeah, that's the first time you heard him mainstream outside Atlanta. Like y'all can disagree. You can disagree with me all you want, bro. I'm telling you, as someone who's went around the world, no one paid no attention to Atlanta until Soulja Boy. I mean, that's just a fact.
Bro, Coach, you smoking on that K2, bro.
I hear you. You can say what you want to say, but again, you live in Atlanta. I'm telling you, as someone who's never lived in Atlanta.
Bro, 95 Freak niggas. Okay. They dropped that Goody Mob and Outkast at the same time.
Again, right? So you think Goody Mob had worldwide success?
No, we talking about Atlanta success.
Exactly. I'm talking about outside of Atlanta, which is what Toddy's talking about, because he said you can't really have Atlanta music without Jermaine Dupri. And I'm telling you, you can't have Atlanta music without Soulja Boy. For sure.
Boy ain't from Atlanta. He's from Mississippi.
Well, he blew up in Atlanta.
He blew up in Mississippi. His song came out. He was in Mississippi when that song came out. Coach.
Okay.
All right. He's from Batesville, Mississippi.
Okay.
Up north.
All right.
Look, even Big Anyway. Said Coach tripping.
Yeah, Coach is.
I really don't care what that does not validate anything because someone else said it. I don't. That's fine. You don't have to believe me, but I'm just telling you. Outside of the U.S., outside of Atlanta, no one was bumping ATL music like that until him.
How can you say that? I go back to T.I. and Jeezy. Both of these guys had multi-platinum albums before Soulja Boy came out. So how can Atlanta don't have? Those are not just Atlanta people that are buying those albums, Coach.
Hold on. Matter of fact, hold on. I'll tell you.
Came out. I'm sorry, they shut shit down.
I hear you.
No, that's the truth.
It ain't the truth, but okay.
That is the truth.
Okay.
Now I'll give Soulja Boy credit and say he helped bring in maybe another aspect of technology with music. You know, with the YouTube and stuff he was doing with that. I will give him his credit on that. But you can't say nobody went bumping Atlanta music until Soulja Boy. You tripping hard, Cole. I mean, you tripping hard.
Dang, and on top of it, it wasn't really YouTube, Tyler. It was what was that download site everybody used to use back in the day?
Napster, LimeWire, something like that.
What was that line? It was really LimeWire because what he used to do was put like new 50 Cent banger right here, and it'd be his song. And he'll use different titles to put his song out there, and it just blew up like that. So it wasn't really YouTube back in the day. It was really LimeWire, Napster, those download sites that put Soulja Boy on.
Right.
Yeah.
He did introduce the game to that aspect.
I needed them free music sites.
And I can remember being in New York when Goody Mob dropped, bro. And I'm talking about when Goody Mob dropped, bro. I'm telling you, everybody was bumping that shit.
Didn't Aquemini sell like 3-4 million copies?
Your cousin and my brother too.
Didn't it sell like 3 or 4 million? Aquemini?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Aquemini sold. Aquemini sold. Goody Mob sold.
Hold on, y'all. The Love Below? When did that come out? 04?
You know that song. That was album of the year.
That went diamond. Coach, what are you saying, Coach?
If y'all really want to keep it
clearly you're not listening to what I'm saying, bro. But it's fine.
If y'all really want to keep it 100,
because I never said they didn't sell, bro.
If you remember, and if you was in the A in '95, bro, come on, bro.
Again, in the A.
But Coach, they went multi-platinum. You cannot go multi-platinum in Atlanta alone.
Y'all are not hearing what I am saying. Y'all are taking pieces of what you're clearly not. You're clearly not, because you keep bringing up Goody Mob. I mean, you keep bringing up Jeezy. I never said that there wasn't people that sold. What I am saying is the explosion of the music scene in Atlanta on the mainstream did not really happen until Soulja Boy. That is what I'm talking about. The whole snap. All right, okay.
Hey, coach, look.
All right, let's talk sports. Let's talk sports.
I've been in Virginia all my life. JD put Atlanta music on.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's where you got that initial sound from. It's JD, Goody Mob, T.I. T.I. my favorite rapper all time anyway. But like them boys had a whole wave before Soulja Boy.
And let's not forget when the brat is in Bow Wow.
Is that
these niggas talking about the Brat Bow Wow?
Okay.
All of them was under JD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Chris Cross sold like 5 million.
Yeah, and that was during the era of time when the West Coast was East Coast was popping. And even Outkast during the mid-90s was popping amidst the East Coast, West Coast.
Oh boy.
During that time.
Boy.
And the Dungeon Family. And even Goody Mob at that time frame too.
Exactly.
Jeez. I'm like, good God almighty.
Like this, Goody Mob is the reason why a lot of people move to the A. I know people that came to Freak in '95 and never left.
Yeah, you're right about that.
And that's the truth.
Oh, none of history with the rap game runs deep. Deep.
We didn't even mention Ludacris. Miller Mill said Ludacris.
Hell yeah! I remember when Ludacris was a DJ, was a DJ at the radio station.
Yeah, Chris Lovelo.
And Poon
Daddy. Hey, that's what radio used to be real. They back then, boy. Woo. All right, y'all. I guess we done gained up on Coach. He ain't even giving us no pushback no more. So
yeah, ain't no need. Y'all talking about Goody Mob? Like, what the fuck was we talking about? That's funny as hell.
You're talking about Soulja Boy.
I know that because I'm out there in the streets. I never lived in Atlanta. I know I know for a fact
Coach. You
where
say
I'm from.
Hold on now, Coach. I gotta call you out on this. You said you out there in the streets. Man, the streets wasn't popping Soulja Boy when he first came out. No, for kids.
Bruh, you are okay.
The streets, Coach. Coach, I hadn't turned my life wholly around back then now. So the streets are not bumping Crank That Soulja Boy. That was kids, Coach.
Oh, okay.
And during that time frame, they were
that was a high school bop.
Yeah, that was high school.
Do you know what? At this time I was in California when that came out, and it for sure was bumping everywhere. And then shortly after that, you heard a lot of Atlanta. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Y'all can disagree with me all you want and name all these people, but I'm telling you, I was out there, and after that is when the influx of Atlanta music started bumping.
Maybe,
I was in California.
Maybe for California. I don't know. I know up here in Virginia, we knew about JD way back in the 90s.
Hold on, somebody got their radio on. You got to turn that down.
Nah, that's somebody beside me, bro.
Oh,
I'm gone. Yeah.
Coach hit the blanket on there as it got loose.
Oh my God. All right, y'all. So I guess we'll turn to the sports part of it, y'all. Let's pull up this Michael Turner segment real quick, y'all. Give me a second. Let me find it. I be forgetting how to share my screen on here, man. Stream y'all looks so different now.
Did y'all know the Carolina Panthers never had back-to-back winning seasons?
I didn't even think about that. I didn't know that.
They are calling for them and or Tampa Bay to be the winners of our division. How, Sway? How?
They never smell it.
I just don't understand for a team that was just absolute butthole garbage since Cam left, how all of a sudden with no major upgrades they supposed to beat us, who barely missed it last year, got a shit ton of upgrades, yet they still projected to go higher than us. It's crazy.
Just got to prove it out on the field. That's all it is too.
We go.
It's just like somebody thanking Soulja Boy. Rapper than Outkast.
And by the way, what's up,
outside in the club?
What's happening, how y'all feel?
What's happening, Winston?
Tidy, I know you heard. I know you heard me, Tidy.
I heard. That's why I blew the horn.
I heard it too.
I'm gonna play this Michael Turner real clip, y'all. Then we'll talk about it.
It wouldn't be right if Red
last year or whatever, especially Tyler.
Yeah,
I think he should be getting a lot of more touches. Mm-hmm. I see myself in Tyler, and I see Bijan as the LT. I see that same dynamic, that duo that can have here. I see it, but we don't know how long we're gonna have Tyler, so we got to take advantage of having Tyler here,
right?
Because I know he's want to start at some point, and
he probably could be a starter for half the teams in the league.
He definitely can be a starter. So it's good that we have that talent here. So let's use it while it's here. I don't think they got the ball enough the last year or whatever, especially Tyler.
Yeah,
I think he should be getting a lot.
Okay, y'all. Before we get into the conversation, let's give some context to it. Last year, Bijan Robinson, of course, led the Falcons in rushing attempts. He had 304 rushing attempts. Tyler Allgeier, his backup, was second, of course, on the team in rushing attempts with 137 rushing attempts. So essentially, Bijan is touching the ball 3 times as much as Tyler Allgeier. Also, Tyler Allgeier's rushing attempts have went down every year since he's been with Atlanta after his record-setting rookie year. So we're going to do some commentary on Michael Turner's comments, and I'm going to actually let Winston start this because I think you are probably the biggest Bijan supporter on the panel, and of all of us on the panel, I think you were probably campaigning for us to draft him prior to the draft. So Winston, Give us some commentary on Michael Turner's comments, please.
All right. Now I won't campaign for Bijan. I just put the math together. But to be honest, I 100% agree with Michael Turner. I've been saying this for years. Like, it's great. It's great to have the talent that you have in Bijan. And what Michael Turner just reflecting on his early years in San Diego, look at how they actually use him. Yeah, LT was doing his thing. He's remarkable. One of my favorite running backs of all time. Well, no, he is my favorite running back of all time. But, Turner's not going to be here. Like, Turner got what, one more year on his contract?
Allgeier.
Yeah, I mean, Allgeier. Tyler got one more year on his contract, ain't it?
This is last year, this coming season.
Last year, yeah. So, after this year, 9 times out of 10, you about to lose him.
Unfortunately.
So you better get some trade off him now. If Bijan is your long-term solution at running back, then lessen his workload this year and let Tyler get some grind. Because Bijan gonna be around for years. Tyler 9 times out of 10 is out the door after this season. However this season folds out, because you're not gonna be able to pay everybody. Everybody's contract coming up. You got Pitt's contract coming up. London can go in contract negotiations and stuff.
This is not
like
it's not getting paid.
Yeah, I'm agree with Red though. I ain't trying to cut y'all. Pitts he ain't getting paid. We might let him go.
You crazy. Let Pitt throw up about like 800-900 something yards or go over 1,000. It's a lock he's gonna be here.
It don't matter.
If it ain't no more than a 1-2 year deal, he's gonna get paid.
He's not. He going somewhere else, bro.
It's too much talent. You got a young quarterback. If we put up numbers this year, and you got a young quarterback and Pitts that actually shown that he's who he should be, he's going to get paid by the Falcons. You got to remember. I agree with that. Pitts is the first pick of Terry Fontenot's career.
But he been lacking. But you got to think about it. Every quarterback we had, he was lacking.
You said every quarterback he had what?
I said he only had one good year. That one we had Matt Ryan. That was it.
But he only had one good quarterback.
Let me say this. And
you only have one good quarterback.
I agree with Winston. You got to think about the coordinators he went through, the quarterbacks he went through, and everything. So he ain't had to adjust throughout his whole career in Atlanta with different coordinators, different quarterbacks, things like that. And that does play a role. So you can't say if he has a good year, they still gonna let him walk, because as y'all know with Atlanta, if they have one good year, they gonna sign him.
Exactly.
So you mean Tyler Allgeier going basically. So y'all don't care about enough. So we gotta get another running back next year.
They just signed the running back from the UFL.
We just picked up a running back.
We gonna see what you get. So we're gonna see in training camp. I ain't got nothing to say about it. We got to see it when the translate on the shoulder pads pop in August on my birthday. So I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, but you gotta look at the quarterbacks that we had in here. Which one of those quarterbacks can tag the middle of the field?
None
of them. All right, so how in all actuality, take the fandom out of it and just look at analytics. If they don't attack the middle of the field, he's a tight end, and they stopped lining them up outside, they had him more inside, how many opportunities he gonna get?
Not a few. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Zach Robinson got schemed more the players out too, and feed the hot hand was working because he have to approve every week.
You can have all the schemes that you want. If your quarterback cannot run this scheme and he's comfortable operating outside the number, there's nothing you can do about it.
Okay, all right. Real quick, y'all, before we go into Kyle Pitts, let's stick with Allgeier with Turner saying, right. then we'll go over to the Kyle Pitts conversation.
All right. I want to keep Tyler.
Go ahead.
So, Red, you want to go? You want to speak on what Turner said?
I mean, he got a point. It's definitely a similar situation that he is an LT. Unfortunately, because I'm a big Tyler Allgeier guy. But he's right. It would be completely stupid for Tyler not to leave next year and get paid. But I'm gonna miss him, man, because I know what he did for us in his rookie year. But Winston is right about Winston. You right about what Turner said. I don't know about all that Pitt stuff, but about what you said about Turner, right?
You're
right.
The fandom out of it, Red.
Let me get my point out for you. Start back again. Anyway, let me. It was a similar situation to his in LT, and unfortunately, like San Diego lost Turner, Allgeier is probably gonna go on because I can see a few teams. I can see at least a handful of teams offering him a starter type money next year, especially if he show out. Because you got to think every time he got on the field with us last year, he did something. He showed out. Every time he give us that same type of season, because dude, when you put the rock in his hand, them legs are churning, man. This dude is like a first down, and man, when he give you that burst of speed and go through that hole, you just know he's gonna do something. Man, I'm just gonna miss that. So we gotta take advantage of it.
Nah, he's staying. He's staying. I don't care what nobody see because at the end of the day, we cannot.
If he stayed, he would literally have to take a deal. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I don't see him doing. It would be bad for him personally because he's gonna be able to get paid a lot of money. And you gotta get your money, big dog. So he gotta get his money. So he probably gonna leave and go on and take that starter money. And all I gotta say is I'm gonna miss you, Tyler, because I respect what you did in your rookie year. I mean, I know Bijan is a beast, but dude gave it to us his rookie year. And being a 5th round pick coming in playing for us like that, man, I'm gonna miss that, Tyler. Tyler.
Oh, Lord. Lord, man.
All right, James, hop in here. You got an opinion on Turner and Tyler? You still with us, James?
Yeah, I'm here. I had to get my
put that Call of Duty down.
Boy, be quiet. I agree. With Michael Turner. You got to use Tyler more. It's instances in the game last year that probably should have been used. You got to use them because 364 carries for a running back is a lot these days and age, and we ain't counting the touches that Bijan got at the backfield on passing plays. So you got to use Tyler more because this is a 17-game season, and down the stretch, you don't want your best player, your best running back, wore out. So I do see they need to get the ball more to him, and pretty much basically open up the scheme a little bit more for Algiers. In some instances, if you look back in the KC game last year on that 4th down play that we should have converted, Tyler should have been the one running the ball to me. Instances like that. So that's pretty much it on my end.
And I'm gonna go after James, and this one I'm gonna say too. We have to split the carries with Bijan because Bijan, to me, this year, Bijan got to stop doing all these cutting and juking because you don't have long time in Germany in the NFL because NFL career is like 5 years, and we cannot allow Bijan to have workload. So 50-50 snaps for me.
So
and
let me say this. So you want him to take big. So you want him to take big hits and stop cutting and juking? That's part of being a running back. If you see the hole and the hole's on the outside, you're on the inside. So you have to juke. You have to cut on to the outside.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about like keep zigzagging and all that. Like he bent his leg, like Ryan Rake saying, like the other dude for Brian.
He got to do that.
He got to do that to find a proper running style.
That part of his game right there.
That's his running style.
God forbid. Knock on wood. God forbid. I just pray that Bijan, I'm not wishing his downfall. I just pray that the man stay healthy. He don't turn the ACL, Achilles, because God forbid, knocking on wood, I don't want this dude to turn his ACL. So we need to limit the workhorse loads off from Bijan Robinson. Put Tyler last year. Simple as that.
William, let me ask you this. All right. Who do you think Bijan, like, out of all the running backs in NFL history, who do you think Bijan run like?
To me, he's run like Emmitt Smith a little bit, but I could say
you ain't got to
he's
worry
not
about nothing.
Emmitt
Run like
Smith.
Emmitt Smith.
Nah, I take that back. I say Eric Dickerson from the Rams.
He don't run like Eric Dickerson. Bijan runs exactly like LT. Exactly like LT. See hole, hit hole. Or I'm gonna juke you in the hole.
Yeah.
They always looking for the home run hit. Because they got the speed to go take it to them.
To be no Eric Dickerson.
No, Eric Dickerson runs like Dickerson. No, Michael Turner run more like Eric Dickerson.
Dickerson ran like OJ.
Right. Yeah, they run straight up.
Yeah, tight. There you go, tight.
You gonna get this work. You gonna get this work, and if I get around you, I'm gone.
Hey, Winston. It looked like they were standing up half the time they were running.
Yeah, they run straight up. They run straight
they
up.
were pretty well walking. Standing up, straight up.
Ashton Genty run like Eric Dickerson.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Y'all, all right.
Yeah.
Real quick, y'all. Let's let Tonio give his opinion. Also, Coach, if he's still on here. I'm not sure Coach still here. Tonio, you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Go ahead, bro. What's your thoughts on what Michael Turner said?
I totally agree with him because one, from like I said, when we first drafted him that first year, like when Tyler had that ball, bro, it was like you never seen Tyler. Every time you seen him, he was going forward, always. And nobody ever tackled him or pushed him back. They always tackled him from the back. So he was always getting them extra 2, 3, 5 yards because, dude, I seen that man personally today. And my son was like, Daddy, look how big his calves is. Like, I'm looking at this dude like no Diddy or nothing like that. But, like, dude got calves like cinder blocks, bro. Like, his quad, like, that man's legs is huge as hell. Like, and I see why. Like,
Bowling ball.
Yeah, that man is a workload. Like, for you to tackle that man, like, nah, you're not no one man for the tackle.
Has he ever lost the yard for us? Has he ever ran and lost the yard for us? I can't remember one time he lost the yard.
No. And he played linebacker in BYU too. In BYU, I didn't mean to cut y'all off. He played linebacker too. He played running back and he played linebacker. And from BYU. Look at his college tape.
Is that you? That's you.
I did. Yep. That was me.
Yeah, I can tell. You know how I can tell it you? Because every time you say something, you apologize. Oh, sorry, y'all. Didn't mean to cut y'all. Sorry, y'all. Didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
But nah, keep going, though. I ain't mean to cut you off, Antonio. Go ahead, though.
And my son asked me, he was like, you know, how much you squat? And he was like, that man was like 650, 700 pounds. Damn. Like, I can see why.
Damn.
That's a lot, bro.
A tank. God, oh, man.
That's a lot.
They ain't just squatting a small car.
Exactly. And when I say when they turned out, when I say like the line was around the building, and this man signed probably like 400, like they came out and like he had a big following today at Fort Benning, bro.
Wait a minute. All them folks there just to see Tyler.
Yeah, I told you how I was. My cousin called me yesterday. She was like, yeah, some scrub because he the manager at the PX. And she was like, yeah, some scrub because she was still his man. And she was like, yeah, some scrub from the Falcons coming down here tomorrow for an autograph signing. It's named Tyler. I was like, a scrub? You and her husband, he was like, oh no. He was like, Tyler ain't no scrub. He said, Arthur Smith was wishing that he even had Tyler up there with the Steelers right now. I was like, you damn right he is. But I said, scrub? I said, nah. That man,
that's last. I don't even want him to go there.
I said, Tyler can go anywhere and start. Anywhere and start.
Man, if he go to the Steelers, man,
it's very possible.
You know how to use him.
I can see him going to the Steelers. I can see him going to the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
I can see him going to the Saints.
I can go.
I can see him going to the Saints.
Honestly, I can see him going anywhere.
I can see him going to the Saints.
No,
I mean, a lot of people hate it. But hey, look what Julio went as he left us.
He went to Philly.
Then He went to Tennessee.
Where did he go?
Then he went to Tampa Bay.
Tennessee.
Then he went to Philly. I forgot he played for the Bucks.
I don't remember. I don't remember him with those teams.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
He went to Tennessee first.
I don't remember him with no team except for the Falcons.
He went to Tennessee first. He went to Tampa Bay. Then he went to Philly.
He ain't do a damn thing with him.
Yeah, Julio's career was pretty much over when he left the Falcons, bro.
Yeah, it was.
Man, we beat the hell out of that man.
Nobody ain't do shit with nobody but.
Man, we beat the hell out of Julio. Julio was the offense for a good portion of his career.
Yeah, his hamstring was gone.
That's what I say.
At that point, he didn't want to be on a Super Bowl winning team.
Yeah, he was. I don't say this to be disrespectful, but he was ring chasing at that point.
Yeah, he was. He was ring chasing.
Big
Facts.
Big fact.
Coach, you still with us, Coach?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Let's get your opinion on what Michael Turner is saying here about Tyler Allgeier.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it real short. I agree with him. The workload should be split. I mean, it's one thing that did very well when we were winning is have a 1-2 combo punch with running back. So, we did it with Dunn and Duckett. Like regardless on what people feel about Duckett or whatever, he split the workload with Dunn. And I mean, it was effective. So, yeah, I think we do need to use Tyler a lot more.
Yeah, I think he should get more carries in the second half, like especially in the fourth quarter, because by that time people gas, and Tyler ain't gonna do nothing but gas you every time you touch you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna get my opinion on it real quick.
Let me ask a question after you finish.
Okay, I definitely do agree with Michael Turner. I think he definitely deserves more touches than what he's currently getting. He actually deserves quite a bit more than what he's getting. But I'll say this from a perspective of a Zach Robinson. I actually understand. I do think he should get more touches, but I also understand why he don't. If I'm Zach Robinson, I'm trying to get the ball in my dynamic playmakers' hands as much as I possibly can. Because one thing about Zach Robinson, he's not thinking about wearing Bijan down 4 or 5, 6 years from now, because in all likelihood he's not going to be here. So I don't say this to be distasteful, but he really don't care about that part of it. It's kind of like Kyle Shanahan was famous of saying, if I could throw the ball to Julio Jones every play in 2015, 2016, I would do it, even though that's probably wasn't conducive for Julio's health, but he was the most dynamic player on offense. So if Bijan isn't in the game touching the ball, then that dynamic portion of the offense with that Bijan gives you is not on the field. But ultimately, I do agree with Michael Turner. I just wanted to add that coaching element in it. But go ahead with your question, Winston.
All right, this for everybody on the panel, everybody in the chat too. All right, now we done had some great running backs. Who do y'all think, or who do y'all feel is the best running back tandem that the Falcons ever had?
Devontae Freeman, Tevin Coleman.
I would probably agree with that. I probably agree with that. They went to a Super Bowl. We'll see what Bijan and Tyler do this year, but I probably would agree with that also.
Well, I mean, what is the Super Bowl the criteria, or is it just the best period?
Best period. However you feel.
I mean, and in my opinion, I mean,
they
were good, but in my opinion, my favorite is Dunn and Duckett.
I like that one too.
And Duckett got a lot of smoke from people, for whatever reason, but the man was a bulldozer, that's for sure.
It's that VA.
I'm gonna say this about Dunn and Duckett. I don't mean to be disrespectful to them, but if you say Dunn and Duckett, you got to include Vic in there too, because they were a byproduct of the element that Michael Vick brought to the offense.
The RPO. They were scared. They were more scared of Vic running than anybody else on the team.
There you go, Winston. There you go, and not taking nothing away from them because they were good football players, but Michael Vick opened the offense up for Dunn and also Duckett. And you can actually look and see what happened to both of their careers. And I'm not being disrespectful, but once they both left Michael Vick, they were never the same.
Yeah.
Never the same.
Yeah, but Freeman, his first 2 years here, though, that man was a madman.
He was.
A madman.
He definitely was. And what you call it? I don't know if you can consider them a tandem, but Ovi and Michael Turner, they were good, even though Ovi was really just a blocker, of course. But yeah, that was a damn good tandem too.
Yeah, Turner and DeMarco. DeMarco was a beast back in the day too,
though.
Who? Patrick DeMarco.
Oh yeah, Pete. I used to call him Pete Diddy.
Yeah,
he was. He made a Pro Bowl 1 year, right?
Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
yeah, he made a Pro Bowl. I used to rock with DeMarco, man. But I got to go free and on Coleman, man. Free and Coleman. That jump, because like it was so unexpected. Cause the tandem came out of nowhere for one, and then the roles that each one played. If you just looked at them, you thought it would be reversed, and it wasn't. Like Free with the sledgehammer, and Coleman was the burner.
Yeah.
Hold on, when was Darius Norwood here? Wasn't he here then?
He was here with Vic.
Yeah.
Wrong era, Antonio.
No, I was just asking when he was here, bro.
Hey, you know another underrated back that I used to rock with hard body. Jacquizz Rodgers.
Yeah, he was solid.
Yeah. I was like 5'6", but ran just like Darren Sproles.
He had that good playoff game in Seattle.
Mm-hmm. He ran dude over and kept on rocking. I'm like, okay.
Yep.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
If you think about it, Devontae was kind of like a better version of Quiz Rodgers.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, Devontae had like 20 more, almost 30 more pounds on Quiz.
Yeah.
I wish you would have got Prime Gurley though.
Oh right? My God, what you talking about?
Or Prime Steven Jackson. Don't forget about him. Or Prime Eric Dixon. Eric Dixon last year was with the Falcons.
Yeah, he was so terrible.
Toddy, I get what you said about Dunn and Duckett, but from a straight talent standpoint, outside of Bijan, I don't think we've had a better actual talent in running back other than Duck.
Duckett? You say Duckett or
no?
Dunn?
No, Dunn. Outside of Tyler, I think Duckett would probably. Dunn is probably our most talented running back.
Probably so.
We've had.
In terms of versatility, probably so. Or if you want to throw Devontae in there,
get Free too though.
Yeah, you got to throw Freeman in there too.
Though, because Free was a beast, bro.
Yeah, Free could do well. Devontae Freeman.
Yeah, but was he a better talent? Was he a better actual running back than Dunn?
Yeah.
I mean,
no.
With free, the whole thing with Free was Free started getting hurt. He was running as an undersized sledgehammer. That would mess up Free career.
Nah,
like if Free hadn't started getting hurt, ain't no telling. Like the conversation could be entirely different. Now I know it's hypothetical. But the way he was rocking, like you gotta think about it. Like, all right, Free played in the Super Bowl with a fractured leg, and his first run was like 50-something yards.
Yeah, but bro, do you remember how elusive Dunn was? Dunn would shake motherfuckers out their shoes. I don't remember that. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but it don't stick out to me that Freeman ever did that. I don't remember.
Oh yeah,
a time where that sticks out. But Dunn, that was all the time. Like if it's 1-on-1 open field, he's shaking you out your shoes.
True. I mean, like, but at the same time, you got to remember the era too. Like Dunn in the era that he played was legitimately a slasher back. Like they don't have slasher backs in the NFL anymore. But he was a slasher back. But I mean, along the same token, just like Jarius Norwood. Every time Jarius Norwood touched the ball, he down there scored.
Hell yeah, that's why I brought him up.
Almost every time he touched the ball, he scored. Or he was busting, he was ripping off something like 40-something plus.
Jarius Norwood used to run like a runaway slave, bro.
Yeah. Man, if Norwood can get outside of your defense, oh yeah, you can cancel Christmas. Y'all might already go on put on go ahead call it on field goal block team and get your return team ready.
It's hard to say, but I might get a slight edge to Devontae, and I'm gonna tell you why. Now we talking about durability. I'm gonna get it done because once Free started getting hurt, he just was never the same. But I'm gonna tell you why I would probably get the edge to Devontae, because Devontae knew how to find the end zone, and that's golden for a running back. And I don't think people give him enough credit for that. He knew how to find the end zone.
What do you have like?
Yeah, but see, 13, but that was the
Super Bowl season.
That was the thing, though. That was the thing, though, Tidy. If I'm not mistaken, because it was so long ago, I really don't remember. But if I'm not mistaken,
9 years ago,
it was done would get the yards, and then it was when it was time to punch it in, they would give it to Duckett. If I'm not mistaken,
yeah.
Like so I get what you're saying, but they didn't do that with Freeman. Freeman was allowed to try and punch it in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but see,
because Dunn was so small. Because Dunn was so small.
Yeah, but like that's kind of what Winston is saying though. Like Freeman was powerful enough that you could depend on him in short yardage situations. So if you get down to the two, it's second and goal at the 2 or the 3. Sure, you keep Freeman in there. You ain't necessarily got to bring in
Coleman.
Yeah, Coleman.
Yeah, but also, and I get what y'all saying, but I will say also though, the defenses are vastly different. Back then, you had fat, slow, big motherfuckers on the line. Now you got sort of slim, strong. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit different. You kind of needed a bigger back to bang with them boys because they were bigger back then.
That's true.
But free won't big though.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm not saying
Free
you're right.
Angry. Free was an angry runner, bro.
Yeah, like Free was like 208. I think he topped out at 209. And then like Dunn was like 200. So there ain't that much of a discrepancy between the two. It's just they running style was different. Like
you're not following me, Winston. What I'm saying is that the defense is vastly different. So when he was playing, the defense was a lot bigger. So it made more sense for Duckett to punch it in because he was going against bigger guys. Yeah, they may be the same size now. Dunn and Freeman may be the same size, but the defense is vastly different. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Freeman changed after we paid him.
Well, Freeman after Freeman took and messed that leg up, that was pretty much it. He just kept getting injured. But I mean, you see the same thing in the NBA.
Yeah,
When you see a player get a Achilles tear and they sit there and rush back on the court, they're gonna pop something else. Either they're gonna pop something else or they're gonna pull something else.
I think Freeman's curse was also. I think his gift was also his curse, because if Freeman thought he was Derrick Henry size, how he ran the ball, but he wasn't. And I think that, and like William is saying, like you start getting them concussions, man. You just could never bounce back. Freeman ran like he was 6'4", 245, man.
And
Man,
they
he running with his head on fire, hard brick, run
Right.
like Sonic the Hedgehog.
you like for the amount of time that he actually played, he had a successful career. He got a bag. He got his rookie bag. Then he got his extension. He went to a Super Bowl. Like, I mean, it's a lot of running backs in the league that got Hall of Fame careers. They ain't never seen none of it.
And the thing about it, he showed his ass in the Super Bowl. That's why I understand why he only touched the ball 4 times in the second half.
Because he had a fractured leg. He had fractured his femur. He had fractured his femur in the NFC Championship game. And Alex Mack had fractured his ankle?
No,
his
Talibia.
femur too.
No, I think
He had a broke leg.
he had a broken Talibia or something like that.
They both had a broke leg when they played in the Super Bowl.
And Coleman got hurt before halftime. That blew us. I said, yeah, Coleman out. I said, oh Lord. I was wondering what happened to Coleman when we had lost our Super Bowl. He got hurt.
All right, so y'all staying right here. What we're talking about now. Let's put a little caveat on it. We're gonna go down a list of some players. Do we need to give them another contract or do we need to move on? And I want to start. Let's start with Tyler Allgeier. Does anybody on the panel think we need to find a way to keep Tyler Allgeier? If not, we'll go to the next player.
I do.
I keep Tyler.
Tell us why.
Because Tyler he just, you need that back for like on game situations, like on the 30-yard, 40-yard line, or sub packages, like when we come after halftime, we could split the carries with Bijan, let Bijan rest and put Tyler in, get some snaps to get us touchdowns, like meaningful, like wear defense out around 34 quarters so we can win ball games. But with that being said, that's all.
I only got one word: proven. He's proven.
Anybody else think that we should, by all means, keep Tyler Allgeier? Because I got a question. It's not? All right. So for Antonio and William, all right, if you by all means, you keeping Allgeier, who you letting go?
Bijan probably have to go. I don't know, but I don't know how that's
Hold
on. You said what? You said who gonna go?
Bijan ain't going nowhere.
I said Bijan.
I had to make sure I heard that right.
Williams smoking that shit. Coach smoking.
Nah. I ain't smoking. No, I'm just joking though. But like, no, seriously, no though. I mean, if Tyler Allgeier is up to him, I see this was him for 3 or 2 year contract deal, like for $15 million or close to 18. He probably, if he don't want that, he probably want that whole back, because I think Tyler Allgeier could be a starter somewhere else. But if I'm the Falcons, I just keep him, man, because you need that two head tandem.
That and that contract is perfectly doable. So again, who are you letting go? Because you have to let go somebody to give him that.
Oh, well, I guess Tyler Allgeier gonna have to, because Bijan going on another contract. What, 2028 or 20? I think his contract. Yeah, 2028 or 29. Yeah, ask for another contract. So
Bijan can get another contract after this season.
Yeah.
He can. Yeah. He's eligible for it.
Yeah.
So again, who are you letting go?
Kyle
Pitts' contract runs out after this year.
Well, Kyle Pitts can go.
Yeah, I ain't for a lot of people want Kyle Pitts out of
money ain't on the books anyway after this year. So all right, who are you letting go? And 9 times out of 10 is gonna be somebody on the defensive side, because the offensive side pretty much is locked up.
Yeah, because I know Drake gonna get paid all next.
Drake gonna get his money.
Yeah, he getting this money. He making he gonna probably making like $50 million. I don't know. He might break the bank.
Nah, he gonna make that much, man.
He gonna make that much. He probably gonna make somewhere around like 38. Yeah. By the time they end up paying him, he probably do like 38 a year. But on defense, who are you letting go?
Kate Ellis, because next year draft they got some good linebackers, inside linebackers coming in. Even though we got James Pierce and Jalen Walker, but I can see Jalen Walker. Well, outside linebacker, but I'm saying we need interior linebackers too for us because Troy Anderson, and I don't know if this dude gonna make the roster or not. So I got to see if he gonna put them shoulder pads. But what I'm saying is on that defense, David Martin probably have to go. Coming, this is last year anyway.
Yeah, David going after this year anyway.
He gone. He
gone.
ain't on the contract.
So again, who are you letting go?
I don't know, because I don't know. Mike Hughes got to step his game up. Like I said, I said Caden Ellis. For me, Caden Ellis, somebody gonna have to go because Caden Ellis on another contract too. Because we got some tough decisions next offseason. Because like I said, we got to pay Drake London and Jesse Bates. We need another contract too.
And then it's gonna come down to production. All right, Caden Ellis just did what? Some that only 2 other NFL players ever did in NFL history.
Yeah.
Last season.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna let him go. So again, who you letting go?
I said David Almada.
Almada already gone.
Oh,
you even got to count that money on the book.
Well, I don't know who.
Yeah, when this season
Bates.
over, he's gone.
Well, Mike Hughes could go. Mike Hughes could go, and we got another
replacement. Mike Hughes ain't counting that much money anyway.
Yeah, he ain't making that.
I mean, he got his money at the end of the day, but I feel like Kobe Bryant could push him out that position in the training camp if he learn that playbook and get some snaps in preseason and learn the system.
No, Mike Hughes money ain't gonna
get an answer to this question.
Yeah, Mike Hughes money ain't gonna move the needle either way. But
well,
I'm gonna let y'all think about it.
I just said on defense, Mike Hughes gonna go.
Yeah, Leonard Floyd can go too.
You're the one year dead anyway.
Exactly. So again, you see what I'm saying?
No. Actually, at the end of the year.
This is my only thing with it. I would love to keep Tyler Allgeier because obviously we're a better team if he's here. But I really think his desire to start and make more money is gonna supersede him being a backup behind Bijan because he knows just like we know. Bijan is the offense right now. Until Michael Penix or if Michael Penix steps up and be the quarterback we need him to be, the offense is gonna be ran through Bijan. And that's what it's gonna be. You know, he's already one of the top running backs in the league. So going back to what Michael Turner said, it's like the LaDainian Tomlinson, Michael Turner situation. Turner didn't want to sit there and be a backup behind LT when he felt like he was talented enough to start and make good money on another team. And I really think Tyler Allgeier gonna feel the same way because once you've been a starter before and you still in your prime, you still know you can do it. Like, man, shoot, I'm about to go somewhere where I can start, man. I ain't trying to sit on this bench and get only like 7 or 8 touches a game. So I honestly think it's gonna be out of our hands unless we overpay for a backup running back. And if we do that, it's gonna hurt other parts of the team. I would love to keep him here, but I just don't see how the money gonna work. Because when you pay Bijan in the next year or two, man, you got to pay that dude like $25 million a year, man, as a running back. And it might be a little more than that. So that's where I'm at with the financial part of it. I just think the finance is going to just force Tyler to go elsewhere. And I think his desire to be a starter is going to force him to be elsewhere also. But I would love to keep him here. I mean, we're definitely a better team if he's still here.
I tell you this. All right. The best option is for us to go make a deep playoff run, like NFC Championship, and we lose by like 3 points. Then they're going to get a GM, like, all right, hold on. We right there. All we need is a couple of tweaks. All right? Let's restructure some money. Let's bring back the nucleus of the team. Let's restructure some contract and just add to the team. That's probably like the only way Tyler Allgeier will be here after this season.
And Ryan, what's his name? I forgot your name, but I did see that they was saying that Raheem Morris on pressure. They saying about Michael Penix got a lot of pressure to save Raheem Morris' job. Cause basically they saying Raheem Morris' job on the line right now.
We're gonna go that way, but let's stick where we at right now real quick. And that's as far as what we're gonna do with Tyler Allgeier. You know, again, ultimately, I don't think he's gonna want to stay here. To be frank,
yeah, he probably go to Los Angeles Chargers or some way.
Somebody who gonna probably offer him a bigger bag than we're gonna be able to offer him.
That man trying to get his name shown on the TV on Sunday Night Football when they announced the starting roster, the starting lineup.
Yeah, I can see him going to the Giants.
But the only way, either we make the Super Bowl or we right there outside of the Super Bowl. Other than that, like, Tyler's gone.
Yeah. Yep.
Do y'all think it would have made any sense to try to make a deal for Tyler Allgeier before the trade deadline, or you just go ahead and ride him out because you're probably gonna get the value back in the trade? So just go ahead and ride him out 1 year, and then what happens in the offseason happens in the offseason.
Yeah, what happens in the offseason happens in the offseason. Let it ride out.
It depends. It depends what the boy from the UFL do. If he showed that he's capable, then I trade him before the trade deadline. Ain't gonna lie to you.
But this the thing though, Winston. In a perfect world, I'm knocking on wood, nobody gets hurt. He really ain't gonna have an opportunity to show what he can do in the game.
That's why you go ahead and that's the problem with the Falcons. They don't ever get any value for their pieces. Of course, you trade them. You should have traded him last year. To be honest with you,
that's what I said.
Like he was 1,000-yard back. You got a new back. You absolutely trade him while you have value. Now he's a year older, who has basically, for all intents and purposes, really just sat the bench. So his trade value has dropped. Like I don't understand why they do. Like, stop being in love with these players. Use them as teams who continuously win do, and use them as pieces, as you know, walking money. you got your future. You can't think if, God forbid, he gets hurt, because if that's the case, then you don't ever get rid of nobody. You get what you get for him, and you move on. But yeah, absolutely, he should be traded this year. He should have been traded last year. But what the Falcons going to do? They're not going to trade him. They're going to wait. They're going to let him walk in free agency, get absolutely nothing for it. That's what's going to happen.
That's probably what's going to happen, Coach.
It is exactly what's going to happen. Just like Grady Jarrett. Should have traded Grady years ago. But
they wasn't low at Grady. They didn't want to let him go.
Yeah, well, got nothing for him. So,
all right. Let's keep going down the list. We just discussed Tyler Allgeier. The next person, should we pay or should we let go? And granted, y'all, when we talking about this, of course, we don't know how this season gonna play out. So we have this conversation based on what we know going into July of 2025. Kyle Pitts and Winston, I'm gonna let you start this one out. Then we'll go around the panel. Do you pay Kyle Pitts or do you let him walk in free agency? Now I'm gonna add this caveat. Now he might come out here. And like Winston said earlier, he might get 900 yards, 1,000 yards, 7-8 touchdowns. Do you give him a big boy tight end contract, or do you say, man, that's just a contract year? You're not finna burn me. I've been burnt too many times with other Falcons player that one contract year. So what do? You pay Kyle? Or you let him free agent?
So with Kyle, all right. So if Kyle put up 850 and above, and like 6 touchdowns, I'm giving him a 2-year deal with a 3rd-year option. That way I ain't gotta pay. I ain't gotta break the bank to sit there and pay him. I front load it with guarantee, and then I'm able to get out of it after the first year.
Okay, well, Winston, I'm gonna play the devil's advocate. I'm gonna be Kyle Pitts' agent. Terry Fontenot, if you think you about to give me a 2-year deal for a 25-year-old with a 3rd-year option, we done talking. Because I got 4 other teams really willing to give my guy a 4-year deal. So you either give me a 4-year deal or we're gonna walk out the door.
I mean, I can give you a
5 3.
4-year deal. I do it just like Kirk Cousins did, with way less money. So I mean, I can give you a 4-year deal. All I need for you to just sit there and show up and do what you did this year again, and then do it again, and then do it again, and then after that third season, we can revisit it, and then I can reassign you. So we even got to worry about the fourth year. So it's still basically a 2-3 year deal.
So you'll give him 4 years, but you're gonna put all the money in the first, most of the money in the first 2
in the
years.
first two.
Okay.
In the first 2 years.
All right, I got you. All right. Anybody else want to jump in on this? James, Red, Coach, anybody? What you do with Kyle Pitts?
No comment.
I'm not letting no player walk. I don't care who they are or how good they are. Nobody is walking. I'm gonna get something for every piece on my team. So, well, if that's a 6 rounder, it doesn't matter. Nobody's just walking off my team. I think that's loser mentality.
So are you saying you would trade him and not pay him? Is that the angle you're going?
Yeah. So, I mean, I would try and pay him. Honestly, I think we got we put I think unfair expectations were placed on him based on the fact that he was where he was drafted. So I think he has done okay as a tight end. So yeah, pay him, and then if not, trade.
All right. William, anybody else want to jump in?
I think you try to pay him, because I think he'll do a lot better this year because he has a competent quarterback. So after the season, I think he has a pretty steady year. You pay him. You try, if you can't get rid of him and you can't get what you need out of a trade, go ahead and pay him.
I'm gonna just say this: if he ball out, just give him a 2-year contract. If he don't live up to the standards, then you let him walk in free agency, or let him go in mid season. That's all.
Go ahead, Red.
Tidy. I don't care if Pitts have 1,800 yards this year. After 2000, this clown is gone like Ryback. I don't want to hear about him. I don't want to think about him. I don't want to see him again. Goodbye, Kyle Pitts. It's not been a fun 5 years. Yeah, he'll probably throw up some better numbers this year because he got a company quarterback. It ain't going to be those numbers to make us be like, ooh, woo. Just get this clown up out of here after this season. Not a 1-year deal, not a 2-year deal, not 1, not 2, not 3, but hit the door. Get out the road. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more. Okay? I don't want to think about this clown again. Whatever, we'll get a tight end in a draft, okay? Whatever time, it ain't shit we gonna be missing by not signing tight end Kyle Pitts next year. And it ain't shit we gonna be missing by not trading. Who the hell gonna trade for Kyle Pitts, coach? I wouldn't get his clown a bag of Doritos and a goddamn bag of cotton candy for this clown. And you nobody giving up this garbage ass clown. I have absolutely no idea what y'all talking about. Pay him anything. Look, Tidy, all I needed to hear from Kyle Pitts last year, let me know what mindset this guy got. Let me know. I don't want no part of him after this year going forward. All I do is work.
I think it's safe to say Ray doesn't like Kyle Pitts.
You ain't gonna never be a leader to this team. You ain't gonna never be an impact to this team. You ain't gonna never do shit to get your name up in that ring to honor. You was a mistake from the beginning. We should have never drafted you at number 4, and you ain't gonna be a mistake going further. Get out of here, Kyle Pitts. Bye, Kylie. It's not been fun, baby. Rise out of flower brain.
No, Red. Did you feel the same way after rookie season?
Dude, Dude, don't talk to me about that rookie season that was almost 3-4 years
That's what
ago.
I said. I said
That
you feel the
4 years
same way
ago.
after his rookie season.
He is done. What did I say?
That ain't what
done.
I said.
You can
I
bring
said
up
that
whatever
you
you
feel the
want
same
to.
way
There's
after his
nothing
rookie
you gonna
season.
say that's gonna make me say otherwise. After this year, I don't ever want to smell Kyle Pitts again. Put him in another uniform. I don't want to hear about him on the Falcons. There's nothing he can do this year that's gonna make me change my mind. Out. Get out, Kyle Pitts. Bye.
What's today's date? Today the 28th now?
28th.
It ain't shit that Kyle gonna do next year to make me change my mind.
June
what
28th.
the hell you expect him to do next year? That's gonna make me change my mind.
Remember that.
What could he
I'm gonna
possibly
remember
do?
that. I'm gonna tell Tyler to pull us up. I'm gonna remember
everybody
it.
remember it. I already talked. Tyler, have I not been saying I've been on Kyle Pitts out? This ain't like nothing new, dog. Okay, Kyle
for a
Pitts
while
is
now.
done. That's what I'm saying. We got Drake London to sign.
I bet he ain't said that his rookie season.
We
I bet
ain't
he
got
ain't said that his
no
rookie season.
money for this guy. No money for this guy. No money.
Red basically said, write it down. Take a picture.
I don't get it.
Hey, Tony, you think he gonna actually do something this upcoming season that's gonna make me say, oh yeah, let's get this guy a max deal? What is he gonna do? Nothing. Same thing he been doing the last few seasons. Nothing.
All right, Tonio, what's your thoughts? Keep him or let him go?
I would act based on. It depends on the chemistry that him and Penix actually has. Like if he go out there and he ball out this year, I'm keeping him. Because I think, in my personal opinion, I think the only thing Pitts has really been missing is a competent quarterback. That's just my personal opinion.
All right, and my opinion on it, I'm pretty much what Tonio just said. It'll be hard if he comes out and he have a great year, man. It'll be hard for me to say to let him walk because when you got a young quarterback, you kind of want to keep him with familiar targets as long as you possibly can, especially with a big tight end. So I'm kind of torn in the middle, man. You know, if he just have a regular Kyle Pitts season, then you let him walk.
Yeah, I feel Red now. Don't get into it. I feel him.
I do too.
But based on the past history and what we've had here, like I said, I would have after this year and seeing what type of, like you said, keeping Penix with him and knowing that they're gonna have that type of chemistry, then yeah, I keep Missy Ball out this year.
All right. So let's go to our next person here.
I think he's gonna put up better numbers, but I just don't think he's gonna do nothing to wow to where we'd be like, we can't replace this with a rookie in the draft, or we can't replace this with a free agent or something. I just don't think he's gonna do anything to make us change our mind out of what we've seen the last 3 years.
But with the market for the tight ends for the next year that's coming out in the draft at hand, if they would have did something to get a tight end, I think they would have did it this year with the amount of tight ends that they had come out this year though.
We didn't have him in the draft picks, so we couldn't have wasted one this year when we still got him on the record books. I mean, he's still gonna play this season, so it would have been silly to draft one now. But now next season, when we got more draft picks, and we probably won't really need too many. Ain't like we got a lot of needs now.
Hold on. We still forgetting about that tight end. We still forgetting about that boy we got from South Carolina now.
What's some Isaiah Simmons, something like that? I forgot. Joshua Simmons.
Y'all talking about that practice squad tight end? They only had on the 200. Baylor had over 200 yards in receiving at South Carolina.
I ain't hyping it up, bro. I was just saying they said he got an undrafted tight end. They say he getting snaps.
He has the athleticism, but he ran a 4.7, which is slow for a tight end. So he'll be more of a blocking tight end.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's very slow for a tight end in today's NFL.
Yeah, you gotta run a 4.4 being tight end.
Yeah. Maybe in Shannon Sharp's era.
Yeah, Dallas gotta run like a 4.7. But he's more technically sound.
Yeah.
So you can get it done. You definitely can get it done. And then you gotta be on your shit.
Well, what's the next topic now? What's the next topic?
If Terry can make it work with the salary cap, but I'm telling you, Drake London got to be priority number one. That man have
What?
been way more.
Oh, peace.
We
Number 5.
about to get to Drake. Before we get to Drake, our next guy, he had a very, very, very good year based on what he was paid. And when I say based on what he was paid, this is his final year on the contract with Atlanta. If he comes, he don't even have to put up similar numbers. But if he comes in with slightly less numbers than what he did this year, you're gonna have to pay this guy if you keep him probably a little bit over $10 million per year. Again, this is his final year on the contract. And now we do got some money to spend, but you know, as y'all already know, you can't just pay everybody. So I'm gonna ask y'all about this guy, Ray McCloud. Do you keep Ray, or do you let him walk?
Let him walk.
Bye. Gotta walk him.
Yeah, I still want to see what Casey Washington gonna do, bro.
Hey, Tiny, not for no 10 million, man. I'm sorry, I like Ray, but 10 million, boy, you up out of here.
So you let him go,
boy. This mean gonna be over with real quick. And him and his agent coming that time about some 10 million.
That's about what he gonna be if he put up around the same numbers. Let me see what his valuation was. I know he outdid his valuation.
Like 10 mil sound about right for him.
His valuation last year was $12.2 million. That's what he played at. So you saying you would keep him, Winston? Or you just saying that sounds right?
Yeah. If Mooney do like he did last year or go above it, yeah, right, I'm gonna keep him.
No, McCloud, Ray.
Ray.
McCloud. Yeah, McCloud. And I was thinking Mooney because I was thinking about Mooney contract. Mooney contract was 3 years for 39. Yeah. I'm keeping Ray. If Ray do the same thing he did last year and or do better, I'm keeping him. That 10 million, yes, I'm gonna pay it.
Yeah,
you know how hard it is to find a competent slot tight end? Slot wide receiver. Like being a slot wide receiver, that ain't for the weak of heart. Cause you operating in the middle of the field. Like that ain't for the weak of the heart. And the thing about it, Mooney wasn't even supposed to been the slot wide receiver. He was supposed to just been special team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Darnell Moore got hurt. Yeah, he got hurt.
Moore got hurt. So for Mooney to step up and do what he did last year and be a big part of our offense, the way he was, he's damn right. Yes, I'm gonna pay him that. If he do the same thing this year or do better, I'm going to pay him that 10 mil per year.
How old is he?
Not
who?
Mooney.
Ray about like 20. Ray about like 26.
26.
I want to say he about like 26.
That sounds about right. Somewhere around that age.
Right. I think him and Mooney like around the same age.
Yeah.
Right. And they young. Like, no, I'm not letting that go, man. It's like you had Taylor Gabriel came out of the middle of nowhere. I was like, he got somebody with some speed, and then Gabriel got out there and actually started performing. Then when the last time you had something close to Taylor Gabriel in his offense?
We ain't gonna be able to pay everybody on this offense though. Only 2 people probably gonna get paid on offense.
Yeah, everybody out there locked up. The only people that ain't locked up is Kyle Pitts, Ray, London, and Bijan, and Allgeier. Everybody else is locked up. The offensive line is locked up. Bergeron still got 2 more years on his contract. Like he got this year and the following year. Everybody else is locked up.
All right, so Winston say he gonna keep him. I dig it. James, what you gonna do?
That's kind of tough.
With that being said,
yeah, it's kind of tough because I know I got a Biletnikoff finalist. That was an undrafted free agent, so I could still save money by that, and that's Reds, boy. So I let him walk. I'm gonna be honest. I let him walk because I got that. I got Nick. I got Mr. Nash over here. I think he'll be a viable slot as well. And I save money, and then I can put that money into other holes on this team.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about Nash, boy. I
No, you
definitely
forget
want to see what
about
he's
him.
gonna do this year.
But Nash is a more outside receiver than a slot receiver. Like you gotta understand, like you trying to get somebody to change their position and their responsibility for the position.
But the changing of responsibility is always.
You can move Mooney back into the slot. That's what he was gonna play anyway.
Hell no, Mooney always been an outside receiver. He was the outside receiver at Chicago.
Wasn't we gonna use Mooney in the slot before Rondale got hurt?
No, Rondale was gonna be the slot.
Oh, okay.
The only reason Mooney ain't number one is because we already had Drake London.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds about right.
So what would you do, Red? You gonna give him 10 to 12 million a year? You gonna let him walk?
Absolutely not. I ain't giving this guy no 10 to 12 million a year. I'm with James, man. That money can be used in some other places. I want to keep improving my defense, man, because look, Tidy, to me, you know how I am. When you got a quarterback, to me, the skill position, you can find him anywhere. I think Penny, you can find me. I can find another receiver somewhere, another slot receiver, another dude who hungry, who ready to come on his team and make a few plays for me, show me that he want to do something on offense. That's not. I ain't no worried about the Falcons finding players on offense. It's always the defense I'm worried about. So no, I am keeping that 10 to 12 million and putting that money into my defense, man. And I know I can find me a playmaker somewhere like Nick Nash, like Casey Washington. Man, these boys, we got guys out here who are hungry, man, ready to come on teams and make plays on offense. And I know I can find them with Penix throwing the ball to them. So I said, like Dr. Slicknut said, I like Ray Ray. I like Ray Ray. I like him too, man. But 10 to 12 million, dog. I'm sorry, dude. This meeting is over with. Love you, big dog. I'll send you a Christmas card, but meeting over.
Hey, Red. Next blunt you roll, I need you to sprinkle some Ritalin in that bitch.
Red trying to cut the whole damn team.
I ain't trying to cut the whole team. I said I gotta say so. We got Drake. And I know Tidy said we're gonna talk about that. It's okay, forget Drake. We'll talk about that when Tidy bring him up. We got players on offense, man. We got Bijan, we got Nick Nash, we got Casey, who we drafted, ain't even seen nothing from. And then we got a quarterback, man. You can find a nigga on the street to come in and make a few plays on offense and catch the ball. Why am I get 10 or 12 million when I can come in and get that same production from a guy off the street, somebody at an HBCU, somebody that can be people at the slot? Are you kidding me? 10 to 12 million in the slot receiver? Why you be fired as my GM Wednesday? Get out of here.
Red.
That's cap, bro.
Red.
That's cap.
Red. 3, 2, 1. Woosah.
like
Tony, I'm cold, man. We talking sports.
If the mindset is goddamn, I can just pick anybody off the street and plug them in and get the same production. That's a losing franchise mindset.
That's not. I'm just saying we still got players that we ain't seen. We still got. I believe we got a steal in Nick Nash. That's what I believe.
All right, Red. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If we got players that we haven't seen, what do you think is the reason why we haven't seen them? Because Casey Washington was drafted last year. He got in the game one time and got a concussion.
Well, to me, our offense, we were running our real offense last year. To me, we only ran our real offense for like the last 3 games. But now we got a whole off season. We got our real quarterback at the helm, and now we about to open this shit up. That's my personal opinion.
So all right, brother.
Coach, you still with him,
Come on,
Coach?
Winston. Come on, Cletus. You quitting that easy?
Oh no, I ain't quit. I mean, I was gonna let somebody else talk, but yeah, I go for it. I mean, if you're gonna open it up, you have a young quarterback that is steady getting in tune with the players he got. You don't want to switch up that much on his offense because they're gonna set him back. Because you got to relearn new people.
I'm saying we're gonna have Ray for this year, so he'll still have something. I'm talking about after this year is what I'm saying.
Right.
After
So
this year,
if you take away his slot,
he'll be a little bit more seasoned, so he can probably be able to incorporate a new guy.
But in your mind, you want to take away the two people that operate across the middle for him. How'd that work?
Well, let's see how the season goes. I mean, somebody might step up this year, and maybe a new guy operating in. We don't know how the season's gonna go. Ray, in his mind, he thinking he gonna have a great season and gonna be ready to ask for that 10 or 12 million. I'll see how the season go. Ray, let's see what you do before you start thinking about 10 or 12 million, dog. Man, that's a lot of damn money.
You can pay one or the other. See, you either paying Kyle Pitts or you paying Ray. Which one you want?
Man, and them my only options.
Those are your options.
Well, Ray, if I got to pick between one of them, I'll just keep Ray.
Ray, do not mess with Kyle Pitts, boy.
I see.
All right. Anybody else want to go on this one before we go to the next player? All right. So the next player on the list, I'm actually going to reserve my opinion on this person because y'all already know how I feel. But next person on the list will be Mr. Troy Anderson, who's entering the final year of his rookie deal, second round pick. There are a lot of people who think that Troy is very good or he's a beast, but he just stays hurt. Now, this is the thing. He could be Mr. Glass his whole career, or he could just be going through, little injury situation and he break out and become the next Luke Kuechly. So I want you gentlemen's opinion. Do you bring Montana Troy back or do you give him his walking paper?
2 words. Bye, Felicia.
Well, let me ask you. Let me make it easy. Does anybody want to keep Troy
after the season?
After this season?
Hell no. This ass need to walk.
How about this season?
Now walk it out. Now walk it out.
He can walk from Flower Bench back to Montana for all I give a damn.
You can walk him out with Kyle Pitts.
The only way I would keep Kyle Pitt. The only way I would keep Montana Troy would have to have like at least 75 tackles as a backup and like 2-3 sacks. That's the only way I would keep him. He's not getting a starter contract. That's a dub. You getting a special team backup role contract. And it ain't gonna be past 2-3 years. That's the only way I would keep him. He's been in the league, what, 2-3 years now?
3 years. This is 4th year.
This is 4th year. You've only had one standout game, and then your ass got hurt the following game. Like, nah, I'm cool on that. Like, you from a backup standpoint, you had to light it up every time you touch the field. I'm talking about key on every key, every blitz assignment, every pass coverage. Like, you would have to stand out as a backup. That's the only way I'm gonna keep it. If not, yeah.
So Winston, you say backup, so you already giving the job to Diablo?
Oh, Diablo Ben had a job. Diablo had a job when he first signed. That's why they went and got Diablo.
Yeah, I'm not debating you.
Yeah, no, they was like, no, sir, no Troy. Go on, sit it down.
Anybody want to keep Troy? William, do you want to keep Troy?
No, sir.
Red.
Ty, you want to keep Troy?
Fuck no.
I already went on my rant for last time. You don't want me to go on another one.
Right. That's why I'm not going to speak on Troy because I'll be here for the next 30 minutes. So I'm going to let y'all have this one.
All I'm gonna say is that cattle back in Montana waiting on them. So go on and get back up there. But y'all lose that damn ranch. While you sitting up here trying to have a damn football career.
And see, the thing here, let me say this: the versatility that he had when he first came into the league, for the amount of positions that he played at Montana, it's a shame that all of that is going to waste because he's 10-4. What other player you can find that can play quarterback, linebacker, and running back and tight end?
Right.
I was wondering where you were going with this, James. I'm glad
Tyler
you cleared that up.
Tyler Allgeier.
That's true, but Tyler Allgeier only played two positions. I'm talking about this dude played 4 positions.
Tyler
know,
Allgeier, the reason why Zach Wilson
star
goes to the
Montana
league.
in football. If you had somebody like Troy Anderson playing 3 positions on the football team, I know that football team sucks.
Actually, Montana, well, yeah, during that time frame, it was up and down for them, though.
Just stop. Don't even try to pump Montana up.
Because he can fit in wherever they needed him to fit in at that time frame.
Josh Allen,
at Montana.
Josh Allen might be the best thing to come out of football from that area of football teams up there. And that he lucky because we thought he was gonna be a bust for a minute.
I mean,
and you got to think about
Carson Wentz came from out there, and he was out before he got hurt.
Carson.
You see, he only had one or 2 good seasons before he fell off.
No, he got hurt, but he was lighting shit up when he first got in the league.
Yeah, Joe Flacco too. He was from that area as well. So
he from the other side, James. He went to Delaware.
Yeah, he went to Delaware.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that type of football though.
Yeah.
So nobody want to keep Troy Anderson, like.
Yeah, no.
Coach, you want to keep Troy? I think Coach probably doing something else. All right, so we'll move past Troy. I'm not going to speak on Troy. They call me a Troy hater, so I'm gonna keep going.
Troy,
yeah, boy. Yeah, man. Yeah, especially when Titan put that post up the other day. God, I said, dog, Titan was fighting in the comments. I was at work laughing.
Bro, they be killing me with this Troy. He's a beast. A beast? What the? Where do you see that at? One game against New Orleans don't make you a beast in 3 years worth of football.
Man, you ain't lying. What you said?
Game he got that interception.
Yeah,
but Titan will crack me
16 tackles and the interception.
Yeah. But what cracked me up when you said he folks taking these Diddy pills, I said, I died laughing. I was on a phone call at work. They said, what you laughing at? I said, I'm just listening to you. But I was laughing at what you said. That was funny.
Bro, they be killing me on that Troy Anderson stuff, man. But we'll see. We'll move past Troy. I got a good one for y'all on this one. Next guy gonna be Caden Ellis. He had a very good year last year. Now this is the thing. If he plays similar again this year, which I think he will, Caden Ellis is a good football player. You're gonna be looking at having to get this guy probably about 12 to 15,000 a year. But this is the thing. He's gonna be about 31 years old, and you also got probably a guy like Jalen Walker who probably could step in, hopefully step in that role. Now, do you get rid of a good player like Caden Ellis, or do you bring him back? Do you worry about his age on the other side of the 30? What do you do with Caden Ellis? You let him walk, you bring him back.
Depends on what Bertrand do.
I don't know about worry about no damn Bertrand.
I do. I like Bertrand.
Bertrand was a college standout, and that could be his biggest claim to fame. I'm bringing Ellis back.
To me, I bring him back on a 2-year deal at that point, because you can still give him another year to teach Jalen Walker the position of transition Jalen Walker into that Caden Ellis role. So yeah, you bring him back. You bring him back.
Well, pending he had another solid season similar to the last one. We have to sit down and do some talking, some negotiating. But if we can agree on, I do agree on the short-term deal. I'm not signing a 31-year-old to a long-term deal, but something short-term, if we can agree on something like that. Because, I do. I mean, when you put Kaden Ellis, last year he didn't have no help around him, and he still was out there making plays. Now, you put these beasts around him now, to me, he'll be a more valuable player in our system. But if he don't take that 2-year deal, we can't work out a short-term deal, then I have to let him walk because I'm not signing him to a long-term deal. But if we can work out some type of 2-year deal, money agrees for both sides, I'll bring him back.
I can dig that. Anybody else want to go on that? All right, so we'll move to the next player. I'm interested to know what y'all gonna say about this. And Arnold Ebiketie, this is his final year in the contract. Unless he just has a super duper breakout year, you can bring him back for probably medium amount of dollars. I can't see him making any more than probably $5 to $8 million per year. Or do you just wash your hands and say, look, I just went and drafted a lot of pass rushers and I ain't got time to waste on Arnold Ebiketie, even though Arnold Ebiketie is straight. What do y'all think?
He can go.
He can go.
To me, I say you bring him back as a rotational piece because he showed flashes during, especially the second half of the season, which ain't the first time he did that. So I understand, but he showed flashes that if he's in a role, like a role player, like a backup rotational player, then he can get you 6.5 sacks like he did last year. Am I correct, Tyler?
Yeah, that's what he had.
So he can give you 6.5, 7 sacks and everything like that as a rotational piece. And in today's NFL, you do have to have that because you just can't depend on a front four in today's NFL. They'll tire out by the second half. So I'll bring him back. And plus he had pass rush use, so he's trying to learn it. He's trying to learn and get better. So
that's true. Winston, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, what you gonna do, Winston Fontenot?
I mean, to be honest, a many problems we didn't have with the edge, and he was the only one that was actually able to do something. Yeah, I'm bringing him back. He'd be a good backup for Pearson Walker. So I'm cool with that. And Trey. If you got Pearson Walker starting, and you got Trice and Ebiketie coming out the bench to spell both of them, you got two decent tandem. Yeah, I'm good with it. Yeah, I bring him back.
Red.
I gotta see what he do this year. That's another dude I gotta negotiate with.
So you're just gonna wait to see how it play out.
Yep. Gotta wait and see how it play out. Gotta see how he fit with the pieces I got now. Because the pieces I got, they my priorities now. My Pierces and my Walkers. And I've seen Ebiketie for 3 or 4 years. Yeah, he did some solid. He had a solid season last year, 6.5 sacks. But we was expecting that out of this guy for the first couple of seasons. Now, I mean, it's getting into season 4 and 5. You still down to just 6.5. So,
I gotta play the role his agent, Red. Y'all keep putting all these old pass rushers like Matthew Judon in front of him, and you realize he can't get the job done, and then you call my client week 12 and say, okay, we're gonna give you more snaps, and then he started playing better.
That's why we really gonna give you an opportunity to break out this year, young man. Like I say, this your year, Ebiketie. That's why I say I'm gonna wait and see. Now, if he kind of have a breakout season, let's say he get about between 8 to 10 sacks, Oh yeah, I'll be negotiating in good faith next year on the contract. But if he have another subpar or just mediocre season, say between 4 and 7 sacks, I mean, what I got sitting behind him and what I plan on adding in the future, I mean, I'll negotiate with you. But if you trying to play hardball, dude, we're gonna be playing no ball, which means you not part of my football team at all. Goodbye.
Dr. Slicknut say how cheap for AK. I'm guessing Dr. Slicknut, you probably can get him depending on the year he have for about anywhere from about $4 to $8 million or $5 to $8 million, somewhere in that range. That's what I'm assuming.
Who's on the block? My bad.
You good?
I was away from my phone.
AK.
AK.
Bringing them back or let them go.
Oh, okay. Whose turn is it?
It's your turn, Coach.
Oh, AK. I mean, I'll try and sign him on the veteran minimum. Oh no, you said AK.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of hard. We talking about right now, so we don't know what the young cats have done. I don't know. Damn, that's a hard one. I mean, I would try and sign him, but for nothing outrageous. So, I mean, I don't really know a dollar amount. I don't want to say a dollar amount, but yeah, I would try to re-sign him for a team-friendly deal because that's a little hard. Because I mean, we just got direct competition for him, so
right. He been solid. You know, he ain't been great. He ain't been trash. He been solid.
Right. That's why I said it's hard because if the new cats just blow him away, then of course. But right now, yeah, I feel like we just replaced him. So yeah, team friendly deal. If not, trade him or I'm not letting nobody walk. So I'm gonna try and trade him.
Coach, some guys are gonna go in free agency now.
That's why you trade him before the end of the year. If you try and get a contract, he don't want to get the contract done, trade his ass before the trade deadline.
Well, you gotta have some takers now.
I know that. I mean, we speaking in hypotheticals, so hypothetically, to trade his ass.
All right. So let's go to the next player. We done mentioned him already. A little prelude. We're going to Drake London, our wide receiver 1, who had a very, very good year last year, borderline great year. Of course, that's the number 1 target in the offense going into 2025. Drake London. Now, the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL right now is Jamar Chase, who's making $40 million a year. Unless Drake London has a Julio Jones prime year, I don't see him going over $40 million. Justin Jefferson is the second highest paid wide receiver at $35 million. I think you could probably get Drake if he has a similar year, somewhat better. You probably can get him from around $32 to $36 million a year.
I still think that's too much.
All right, so we'll start with you, Coach. Do you keep Drake London, you give him $35 million a year, or do you let him walk?
I keep him, but I mean, I'm gonna tell him like, bro, you are probably the best player on tier 2. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Yeah, you definitely not Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. You're the best on the second tier. So maybe 28 to 30. I mean, if he should be able, I don't see no team paying him more than that. So yeah, he should be all right with that.
I'm gonna say this, Coach. I get what you're saying, but you know how the market resets anytime a big time player comes up for a contract. So
I understand that, but still, he is not top tier. So regardless of what the market does,
okay, so
he doesn't.
But let me say this, Coach. People said the same thing about AJ Terrell, and what happened when he came up? He got paid top 3 cornerback money. If Drake has another similar year, 1,200, 1,300 yards, anywhere from 9 to 12 touchdowns, he's gonna be one of the top paid wide receivers in the league. That's just how the market goes. So let me say this.
Okay,
Coach, you either gonna have to pay him that kind of money, or you gotta let him walk. He's not gonna give you a hometown discount in the prime of his career. That's not gonna happen.
right. I will say this that there's a difference though. AJ Terrell is in the top tier, arguably one of the best in the league. So he is not on that level. He is on the, in my opinion, he on the second tier. But if you're saying, you got to pay him, I mean, I guess they're going to have to. I mean, if it was me, I would offer him 28 to 30. Because, I mean, again, I don't think there is any team who's going to pay him top tier wide receiver money if he's not a top tier wide receiver. Not saying he's bad, but he's not Justin Jefferson. He's not Jamar Chase. So
but you gotta understand how the market go though, Coach.
I get you. That's why I said. I guess if you say we gotta pay him that, then okay, so be it. I guess.
So if he go in the market and he becomes a free agent, he will command $35 million. If you look at the situation Drake London was in the first 3 years of the season, with the incompetence at quarterback, and his stats risen each year, as far as yardage and everything like that of that nature. With a competent quarterback, with Kirk Cousins, Kirk Cousins and everything, he probably over 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns. So if he has another good year like he has this year, he's going to enter tier 1. And he's going to command that $35 million. So to me, you pay that up front now. So when the market resets again, you don't have to load over 40 million at that point. Because somebody's going to reset that market again one way or another.
I agree, Jane. All right, so who next up, Red or Winston? What y'all think?
I mean, I'll go. I mean, like I say, dude, I don't see him regressing. Not with Penix in his first full year. So just chunk on another 1,000-yard season, and that would be 800 in year 1 with Riddler and Mariota. 900 in year 2 with Riddler and Taylor Heineke. In year 3, Cousins and Penix, 1,200 yards. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to deal with 2 quarterbacks all 3 of his first 3 seasons. Hopefully this year can just deal with 1 single quarterback, and I see another 1,000-yard season. So like James said, the man is already right now. He's already at 35 million. I mean, any good agent is not going to enter any negotiation without that starting point at 35 million with 800, 900, and 2,000-yard seasons back to back. And man, if he go like to 15, 16, 1,700 this year, oh yeah, he'll definitely be in between the 35 to $40 million range. So, like Titus said, every time a big time receiver come up, every time a big time position player comes up, the market is reset. And Drake London is the type that can reset a market. I'm sorry, Coach, he just is. So it is what it is. But the Falcons, sorry, you're gonna pay every dime, and he's gonna be worth every dime. Yes, we bring him back. I just can't imagine the future going forward in this era of Falcon football without Drake London at receiver number 1. Pay the man. Boogie.
I agree, Red.
Not sure why you bitching me, bro, but I thought he asked me what would I do. That's what I would do. So my opinion is neither right nor wrong. So give your own,
Well, I see it. The man getting paid.
Hell
He's He's Falcon #1, like for the foreseeable future. Like I put it to you like this: barring injury, knocking on wood, barring injury, Drake gonna get at least 2 big boy contracts from him. That's a lot. That's a given. That's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Now, if Drake fuck around and go do about 1,500 and like 15 touchdowns, yeah, it's possible he reset the market. It's very possible he reset the market.
If he put up those numbers, he gonna be up there with Jamar Chase. That's a Julio type season.
Yeah, like
with touchdowns.
It's like 15 touchdowns. Let him get somewhere between like 12 and 15 touchdowns. He's gonna reset the market. That's a given. Because like your rookie contract is for your potential, where you drafted at. Your Knicks contract, I'm paying you for your potential. I'm paying you for what I think that you're able to do. And if he's to then show out and ball out with Penny, and all right, so I'm gonna lock him up for next 4 years. I see the Penny's gonna be my quarterback for the future. I bet I'm going to reset the market with him. If he don't reset the market, he'll at least be in the top 3. You can bet that. Like you can take that to the bank now. He's gonna be in the top 3. And to be honest, they should have went on and did his contract this offseason. That would have been the best move for the Falcons. Redo his contract now, so you could have got him at a lower rate. And then in the future, you may revisit it and do an extension or whatever. But if he play out this season and he go ball out like 13, 14, 15, 16, and then do like 12 to like 15 touchdowns, yeah, all right. Okay. If he don't reset the market, he can be right on top of him. And I'm talking about like a couple 100,000 per year different. Yeah, he gonna be that far off of it.
Yeah, he gonna be right there with Chase and Jefferson. He'll deserve it.
But that's a given. Cause he's still young. He's still young for one. He's #1,
23.
And you got a brand new franchise quarterback. You not letting that go. Right. You can have the Falcons go to Burrow. That's why they should have redid his contract this year. Before Penny got out there and go show his ass.
Yeah, that's why I said we need a couple of years of Phoenix on his rookie deal.
Yeah, they could have did London's contract this year because he already played 3 seasons. You can do the contract now. Then next off season you can sit there and focus on Kyle Pitts and make your adjustments to this, that, da. But they should have did that then. Instead, either what's gonna end up happening is he either gonna get an extension at the end of next year or they're gonna 5th-year option. And then you just keep kicking the bird down the road. And the same thing pretty much that's what we did with Matt Ryan and Julio with the restructure. Cause when you got that 5th-year option, you getting paid getting paid the average of the top 5 players in your position.
And that's a lot.
That's a lot of money. And it's all guaranteed.
Yep. So you got to take that full cap hit.
Exactly. That's why they should have did the shit this year. Because now the way it's looking, they're gonna make a decision on Kyle Pitts at the end of this season, and they're gonna make a decision on Drake London. But you got to hurry up with Drake London and Kyle Pitts because Bijan coming down the turnpike.
Well, London gonna get money. He don't prove he can.
Somebody contract should have got done this offseason. Like ain't no getting around. Somebody contract. I don't care.
And Pitts had proved himself. He would have got paid, but he didn't prove himself.
That's true.
Yeah, but at the same time, they had already took out the 5th-year option on Pitt. They been did that. They did this shit last offseason.
I guess they were trying to get
somebody should have got paid this year, this offseason. Because you sitting there loading it all into one offseason next year. So when you do that, what you able to do in free agency is gonna be affected. Cause now your money being allocated already.
I'm not sure. They probably not sure their future with Kyle. I'm pretty sure they probably planning on re-signing Drake. They probably don't know what they want to do with Drake.
Case in point, that's why they should have went on did Drake contract this offseason. You already know you're gonna keep Drake on it.
All right.
Don't get this shit out of the way, and it be cheaper.
Bro.
You let one of y'all. You gotta think about it. When Drake come up next year, you got Chris Olave contract coming out. You got what's that boy that played for the Jets? Garrett Wilson contract coming out, and it's another boy. They all got drafted in the first round the same year, so all those contracts are gonna hit at the same time.
Olave may not get the same money that London and Garrett gonna get.
Yeah, case in point though. So now it's down to semantic, because it's about who gonna sign first, Garrett or London. If Garrett signs first, London gonna want more money. If London signs first, Garrett gonna want more money.
Well, Garrett better get his ass quarterback.
I mean, Justin Fields ain't look bad last
year.
Over there in
Fields
Pittsburgh.
Feels okay.
And so they got Fields for 2 years.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. Like they should have did the London contract early.
Yeah. Well, both of them earned their money because they don't put up good numbers their first 3 seasons. I ain't even know Garrett don't put up 1,000 yards. Garrett don't have 1,000 yards all 3 of his first 3 seasons.
No, I don't think he hit 1,000 last year.
He did?
He might have hit 1,000. If he did, he did scraped over.
But I think he did all 3 years.
I mean, hell, if he did, then Garrett gonna reset the market.
He had 1,100.
He had 1,100. Yeah, so Garrett gonna reset the market next offseason. And if Drake London wait until Garrett reset the market, he's gonna fall somewhere right there, either right there behind it, or could be like right there on top of it.
And Winston, that's probably why he didn't sign. His agent probably wouldn't allow him to sign. He probably want to see what the market gonna do.
Hey,
Winston, all 3 seasons.
Yeah, so like now you got 4 first-round wide receivers all up for contract in the same year.
But they total yards about the same, because
exactly
when you add all their numbers up, because Drake still had 800 year 1, 900 year 2, and 1,200.
I think Drake. Last time I looked, I want to say Drake was like 200 or 300 yards shy of Garrett, but he got like 3 more touchdowns than Garrett. It's like 3 or 4 more touchdowns. I think Drake got like 15 touchdowns for his career or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
So their money is not their money is not gonna be that much different.
It's about Garrett got about 200 yards more, and London got 1 more touchdown.
Right.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? So their money ain't gonna be that different. That's the issue you're gonna run up against.
I'm just happy these brothers putting up their numbers with such subpar beginnings with quarterbacks, and they still put it. That's what I'm saying. See, that lets you know these some real players right here, like Brock Bowers. Right. They putting up their numbers no matter what the quarterback situation is, unlike somebody else.
Stop it, bro.
Yeah,
and then every offense in the NFL, the first 2 reads is wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, then tight end. The only offenses that predicate their pass game through the tight end is Kansas City, the Ravens, and shit. That might be it.
San Francisco.
You said you did say you said Vegas, right?
Yeah, well, they ain't had no choice though.
Yeah,
Vegas don't count. They ain't had no choice. They literally had nothing else on offense.
Yeah, boy, kicking ass up there. And watch now you got a real quarterback now. I keep forgetting Geno Smith up there.
But now they got a running back too.
Oh yeah, Janty.
Yeah, they got Janty. So their offense gonna change.
Oh, Brown gonna get his numbers.
Right, Divas say we all agree that Drake is gonna get paid. I think the entire panel does agree on that. The thing about Drake, man, you drafted him number 8, and you got a brand new quarterback in Michael Penix, man. Like the Falcons would be complete idiots not to pay Drake. You have to pay him. That's just what the market gonna dictate, and you got to pay it. I saw somebody say that if you got to pay Drake I think 28. No, if you have to pay him over 30 million, then you let him walk. To me, that's beyond ridiculous to me, because if you draft a guy,
I mean,
if you no, shout out to Strap. But if you draft a guy at 8 overall, he's playing up to the potential, you can't say, well, I'm gonna trade you when it's time to pay him. Like that's dumb. That's dumb management of your front office. So I mean, I get you trying to save money, but like you draft great players to pay them. That's the whole point of the game. I understand the reluctance with Kyle Pitts, but with Drake London, the man get better every year. So I seen that coming. I was like, man, this person here bananas, bro. But yeah, we all agree that you do got to pay Drake London. Sega Man, the Don said Drake fixing to get 35 to 40 million. Mark my word, or he walking because somebody else will pay it if we don't, because he's worth it. Yeah, that's true.
Better bet it.
You know who gonna pay it? Kansas. I bet you Kansas City will pay it.
Yeah, he ain't walking though. Atlanta ain't finna let Drake go.
They ain't let him go.
They ain't let him go.
Terry ain't that dumb after he just smartened up after the draft.
Right, he ain't gonna let him go. All right, y'all. We got one more player. To me, this is probably gonna be the most interesting one. We got Mr. Caleb McGarry, who's in the final year of his contract with Atlanta. He's currently making about $16.5 million. If he has another similar year, which he probably will, but we're gonna see, being that the importance of his position has changed with a left-handed quarterback. So we're gonna see how he responds. But he's gonna be slated, y'all, to make somewhere between probably $18 to $21 million if we do re-sign Caleb. So I want you gentlemen to let me know what y'all think. Do you keep Caleb, or you just don't trust Caleb? You done seen the cement foot, as John Harris call him. What do y'all do with Caleb McGarry?
You keep him.
If
he have a similar season to what he did the last 3 games of the year, you keep him. You just keep him. In the next 2 years, you draft another
tackle.
Yeah, you draft another tackle.
Right.
But as of right now, you keep him. You don't have you don't have nobody in the pipeline. Yeah, I mean, you got like Storm Norton, but if you put Storm in, you giving up on your bread and butter, which is the run game.
Right.
And that tandem between him and Chris Lindstrom, that's monstrous. Like, if y'all know, the majority of the time when we run the ball to the right.
Right. With success.
Right. You keep him. I pay him somewhat. To be honest, I probably give him another deal like he had.
3-year deal.
Three for 33.
You got to pay him more than 33.
Yeah, because he's the blind side. Yeah, I go like 3 for 40. I go 3 for 40. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's another reason why somebody should have got paid this offseason. Because all this shit come and due in the same year.
It's all right. Salary cap gonna go up next year. So
salary cap ain't going up another $100 million.
It don't need to. Just need to go up a few more, just so we can get McGarry under the books. It'll be enough.
So you saying keep him?
We're gonna have to keep him. We got to. And I'll tell you what. When you let McGarry go, that next guy had got to be on the roster, and he got to be ready. He got to be ready to go right in after McGarry. So yeah, you got to keep him until that next guy ready to jump right in and take his place. But we definitely better draft him.
We're gonna have to draft a versatile tackle next. Yeah. Somebody who can play the left or the right.
Right. Because we gotta have somebody ready for when McGarry, because he gonna fall off, McGarry. And we gotta have somebody to go right up in there.
Not only that, Jake getting a little old.
Getting old. You gotta get a left tackle too.
Yeah, that's why I say we gotta get a versatile tackle.
Well, we gotta keep, to me, lineman or something, you gotta draft every year. It just, if you want your O-line to stay solid, you gotta keep investing in it.
I agree. I definitely agree. All right, so who didn't give an opinion on that? James, did you speak on McGarry? James still with us?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does.
Go ahead, James.
This your position, James. So what you think about it?
Excuse me, I had some mouthwash. I was brushing my teeth when y'all was talking.
This is about the most randomest shit.
man, because I'm prepping myself
in the red light district.
Man, look, I'm prepping myself after the show.
We all brush our teeth late now. Ain't no damn time on it.
At all, like I'm in the military or something, just gonna set my time frame up to go brush my teeth.
I don't know what time I brush my teeth.
I don't know. James been mighty quiet for a little while now. I know he keep that red light on.
That red light. Man, the red light ain't on tonight. It ain't on. That's kind of tricky because what y'all just said. Because you got a Jake Matthews that's getting up there in football age, and then you got Caleb McGarry that's really been, getting better every year. I'll say keep him. Go ahead and resign him. Because if he has a good year like he did last year, and he started progressive, then in hand, you don't want to let that walk. And plus, that's Lindstrom's right-hand man. They came in together. So you don't want to let that go because they complement each other. The thing is that what you do at that left tackle position, when Matthews get ready to go, and when you get ready to do that, I'd say you could draft the guard and kick Bergeron out there to the tackle because he came in as a tackle when he got drafted. He played guard and tackle and did good at both spots. So you got a versatile offensive lineman on that squad already. You just gonna have to replace that guard. So that's what I do.
Yeah, and I agree with all y'all. I say you keep him too. He ain't finna get no top tier right tackle money, but you got to break him off a little bit because he's been solid these last 3 years or so. And like James say, that's Lindstrom boy. They make that they're a good tandem. I want to say that's probably our best tandem of our lifetime that we done seen play. A lot of that is due to Chris Lindstrom, but Caleb McGarry is a damn good run blocker too. So I'm with all y'all gentlemen. I say keep him. I think we'll make this our last segment, y'all. Let's talk about Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot. I want y'all opinion on this. Are they in the I don't want to use that word, but are they in the pretty much a barbecue and mildew season? Like, if we don't make the playoffs, or both of them fire, or being that Terry has been here about 5 years, if we don't make the playoffs, do you fire Terry and you keep Raheem? Like, what's y'all thoughts on Terry and Raheem and how much the critical importance of this 2025 season is on whether or not they're going to be retained by the Falcons?
So, for me, it is barbecue mildew. If you go back some months back, and when Arthur Blank had an interview, I forgot where it was at though. It was right before the draft. Arthur Blank said that he kept the conversation brief with Raheem and Terry because they know what I expect for them.
Right.
And I know what I expect for them this season. So that is a barbecue mildew type of conversation because for the simple fact that, as Arthur said as well, I'm getting older. I'm in my 80s. I want to have a Super Bowl before I go. I want to have winning seasons before I go. So my patience is running thin on making this a winning organization. So when it goes back to Raheem and Terry, excuse my French, everybody, they ass is on the line. No deal.
What you got, Winston?
Well, for one, shout out to NFL channel on Roku. They playing Steven Jackson here for the Atlanta Falcons Hard Knock. But yeah. I think it depends. It depends on how the year fall out. If we make it to the playoff and first round exit, Terry gotta go. I'm sorry, Terry gotta go.
So you're gonna get rid of Terry in the playoffs? Yeah.
Hey, if we go to the playoffs and we get bounced in the first round, you damn right I'm letting him go. Huh? What is that?
If we make the playoffs, I'm keeping Terry. I'm bouncing Raheem out.
You gotta think about it. All right. How many bites of the apple do Terry get? How many lifeline he got? Terry as is already used. Terry got damn many lives as a cat. He's like
not
4
really.
5 of them.
Not
hey,
really.
Come on, bro. Like at some point, like something got to change. Then you also got to remember too, he swung for the fences this draft.
He did.
With Walker and Pierce, he swung for the fences. We don't have a first round next year. So like this is legit a make or break season. Now, if I can see that Raheem is actually coaching and not just relying on talent to just be talent, then I'll give Raheem another year. If not, Raheem has him go too.
You gotta understand. If Terry leave, Raheem leave. You're not gonna fire Terry and keep Raheem because whoever you bring in,
this cap.
Whoever you
literally just
bring
did that with Arthur Smith. That's cap.
Well, who was? But let me ask you this though, Winston. Let me ask you this: who was hired first?
Terry. That's why Terry be the first one out the door.
Terry wasn't. I'm talking about when Arthur Smith was hired. Who was hired first?
They got fired. They got hired around the same time. It doesn't matter who got hired.
Yes, it does because for the simple. Hold on. Because if you look at that situation, Terry ain't had as many lifelines because they babied him when he first came in. So with that being said at hand, there ain't as many lifelines as a cat at that point because that's on them for baby Terry like that.
All right, so when Arthur Smith left, what did Terry do? Where did the team go last year?
The team was on a game or two out from the playoffs.
Right,
I said where did the team go? If I remember correctly, the team pretty much did the same shit they did the year beforehand, and they blamed on Arthur Smith. So what's the common denominator now?
I think last year we were primed to make the playoffs, and I think.
But did we make the playoffs?
Oh, but bad coaching, poor management was the reason. It wasn't GM
and then competent quarterback on top of that.
Everything but the common denominator. See, like, all right. So when Rich McKay was in his position of power, we blamed it all on him.
Yeah, they babied him. When Terry first. But Winston, what you not saying, Winston?
Rich McKay is out the way. Who is the common denominator?
But Winston, as you know, and I know, when it comes to an overall team, when the GM finally gets the power of being over a roster, bro, he really didn't technically have full power over that roster. It takes time to build in a vision with that coach, Winston. So you can't really put that on Terry because of the players that didn't produce, bro.
Okay.
The players didn't produce. The
Who
coaching was
brought the
bad.
players in?
He did, but at the
Okay, then.
same time, but hold
So
on, but
if
hold
you
on,
brought in players,
Winston.
hold on,
I
John.
got
You
you. Let me say
contradict
this. I
yourself.
got you. And then I'm gonna let you cook. The thing is, though, they still have to produce, bro. They still have to produce. He brought the players in. He got with the coach. Finally, when he had the chance to be a true GM, and they went for the players, and he did his job. It's on coaching and player development, and also producing at that point, bro. We can't not want and don't look at the other side of it. The players just
Yeah,
didn't produce,
yes, you
bro, and
can.
no,
You literally can.
you
At the
can't,
end of the
Winston.
day, who bring the
Winston, you
players
can't.
in? If
Winston,
you bring
Winston.
it, the whole argument, everybody kept saying, well, the team didn't have enough talent. Team didn't have enough talent. Team ain't have enough talent. Who bring the talent in the door?
The GM, hey, the GM is a part of the
Okay,
process in
that's
because of the
enough said it.
negotiation and everything. But
Enough said it.
but listen though, who it falls under if it comes to coaching and development and also producing, it becomes on the coaches and players. You can't give heat to
All right,
one
so
aspect. But hold on, Winston. You can't give heat to one aspect if you can't give heat to one aspect if you can't give heat to all aspects of the
all
game,
right,
big
so let me
dog.
ask you this: do you think
Well,
Raheem Morris is a bad coach?
no, I don't. I don't think he's a
Okay,
bad
then.
coach at all.
Okay, enough said then. So if
But
the team
but
does
it-
not,
but it- but
if the
but he's
team
not
does not
perfect though.
produce, Terry Fontenot ass is out the door. And you just said you don't think
But
Raheem is a
but
bad
uh,
coach,
but
so they're
but I'm
going to
just
keep
saying though. But
the
if he's out the door, Raheem will have to be out the door too. That's a
how.
combination
Raheem only
package.
had 2 years with him.
But that well, Arthur Blank ain't saying. Arthur Blank says the barbecue mildew season. He said that out of his mouth. He said
That's
that
what I
out of
don't
his mouth
say.
for
If
Raheem
we find
and
Terry,
Terry.
we're gonna have to get rid of Raheem.
He gonna
All
have to get rid
right,
of both of them.
all right, what?
He said that out of his
Let
mouth.
let
Am I
them go to the
wrong, Tiger?
playoff and get bounced in the first round. Terry Fontenot ass is gone, and Raheem gonna have another year. Why did he
Terry
say?
will
Wait a
not
minute.
be gone.
If we get
If
bounced
we
in the first round, you might not. I mean, I would say one of us might say we want somebody fired, but if we make the playoffs and get bounced in the first round, Arthur might say, "Bring it both back. Let's make one more run at it." And with this
and
regime,
he is gonna
yeah,
bring them both back, Red, because
I
for the
don't
simple
think
fact
we're
it
gonna
is
fire nobody
that
with us making the
that's a
playoffs.
that's
Hold
Now,
on, hold on. Why
I'll
did?
he
be,
gonna bring
I'll
them
be
both back at that
disappointed.
Why
point.
did?
I'll
Watch
be
the matter. Watch the
disappointed.
matter.
I'll be
How,
disappointed with the first round exit, but Arthur Blank,
how many years has it been since the Falcons
especially
had a
that money
winning
he gonna
season?
make from that first home game, Titus.
How many years has it been since the Falcons had a winning season?
It's been
7.
It's been 7
7 years.
years.
All right. How long has Terry Fontenot been the GM?
Well, he going on his 5th year this year, right?
Okay,
It's
so that
four. I think it's
so
four. It's fourth
yo,
year.
4.
Yeah, hold on. It's his 5th year this year. It's his
it's
fifth
his
year.
fifth
It's his
year.
fifth.
Yeah.
It's his
So
fifth. It's
out of
his fifth year.
7 years, he has been a GM of 5 losing consecutive seasons. His ass is out the door.
But
If we go to the playoff and get bounced in the first round, his ass is out the door.
no, he's not,
All
because
right.
for the let me tell you why. Because
Okay.
for the simple fact it is, if we go to the playoffs and we get bounced out the first round, Arthur Blank is gonna see that as progression, because that's been the
Especially
first time.
if we don't get our ass whooped. Say like if we like lose by a field goal or something, he ain't gonna say like,
Yeah.
okay, both of y'all
Okay,
out here.
out of here, because
He gonna bring
he gonna
everybody
see,
back.
All right. All right.
because he see that as progression, Winston. Because
You literally just said Arthur Blank said I'm getting old. I want to see a Super Bowl before it's all said
and
and done. Right?
but
So
you ain't
he's
gonna
tired of
blow it
wasting
up.
years. He's going to go
You're not
get a
gonna go to
competent
the
GM.
You're not
He's
gonna
going
go
to
to
go
the
get a
playoffs,
competent
lose
GM
by
to
3
match up
points,
with
and
Raheem
say let's
because he
blow
has
it
faith
up.
in
If
Raheem.
you
but that's true too. That's true. He did say
You
that,
got
when
you have to
hold
understand.
on, Red, hold
You got
on.
to
Let me
understand.
say this.
No, hold on, Jan. Hold on.
I got you.
You got to understand this. All right. He literally took and turned down Bill Belichick for Raheem Morris. Raheem
Okay,
is safe. Terry
I got
Fontenot ass is on the chopping block. As long
I got
if
some.
if
I got something
Raheem
for
get
that.
us to the playoff, Win, lose, or draw, he's safe. Fontenot ass is gone.
We keep bringing up this Bill Belichick thing. First off, what was Bill Belichick record without Tom Brady? Somebody give me that. Losing record.
How many
So with
rings
that,
he got?
but that's not the point, Winston. But the thing
That is
is,
the point.
no, it ain't, because for the simple fact it is, okay, he's a great coach. Don't get me wrong. But if I lose Tom Brady and I got a losing record afterwards at hand, was it because of my quarterback or was it because of me?
Your quarterback.
I'm asking you that.
Stop it. Cause what Patriot team
Huh?
after Tom Brady left had actual talent on it? Stop it. Stop it. Stop
Even
it.
when he
Stop
left,
it.
even when he
Stop
went
it.
to,
What
even when he
Patriot
left,
team
but
after Tom Brady
you talk
left
about,
had actual talent on it? Name
okay, so
one.
it's so with that being said, Winston, you speak of it because you're playing in my role. When one person, if he didn't have talent on that team, the last year Tom Brady was there, did they make the playoff with that no talent on their team?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah.
So
So
if
what?
Tom Brady left and they ain't have no talent, who that falls on then? Huh? And who was the GM at the time?
Belichick.
Oh
But
my
Belichick
goodness!
wasn't
Oh
coming here to
my!
be GM. He was coming here to be a head coach.
Oh my! Oh my! Oh my!
No,
Oh
you
my!
can't that.
Oh
He
my!
wasn't
Oh
going to
my!
be the GM
Oh
here.
my! Oh my!
Stop it. Stop
You're
it,
not
James.
seeing what I'm
Stop it.
saying. You're not seeing what I'm saying.
He's
You're
not
not
picking the
seeing what I'm
groceries
saying.
here. He was just going to be a coach here. Stop it.
What was one of the main fears when Belichick came here that everybody was worried about within the Falcons organization? Winston, let me ask you that.
He was gonna want to pick the groceries.
Thank you.
He will not go pick the groceries here.
Thank you.
Yeah, they voted against him
the,
because they quote unquote said they were scared he wanted to pick the groceries. Yes, okay. He was not
okay
going
then.
to pick
Okay,
the
so
groceries here. All right, all right.
No, hold on.
Along the same line, did it not get the same power to goddamn Arthur Smith? An unqualified person?
But that's why they didn't want to go with that direction at that point.
If I remember correctly, Bill Belichick did pick the groceries for 6 teams that won the Super Bowl.
Having that in his contract to pick some groceries.
Hold on. If I remember correctly, Bill Belichick did pick the grocery for 6 Super Bowl winning teams.
But that team didn't have no talent at that point when Tom Brady. But look, hold on. You said that. You just said that team didn't have no talent, Winston. You just said that. You just said that the team didn't have no talent.
After Brady left, yes, they didn't have talent. I said also, did Belichick not pick the grocery for 6 Super Bowl winning teams? Now, how many Super Bowl winning teams the Atlanta Falcons have?
0.
And we got 0.
Okay. All right. So obviously you know what the hell he's doing, right?
How when he has a losing record after Tom Brady left, which is his main quarterback.
What are you talking about? We got a losing record.
So how do he know what he's doing? But Winston, you just said he didn't have no talent. You just said he didn't have no talent, Winston. If that's the case,
or do he not have a better shot at
listen to me, okay. Okay, with Bill Belichick at the helm,
do he not have a better shot at winning a Super Bowl?
With Bill Belichick at the helm of the Atlanta Falcons?
With Bill Belichick?
No.
Man, you smoke crack.
No.
No. The goddamn Red Buffalo. Stop it, bro.
No. The past freedom. No. And let me explain why, Winston.
You got too far into your narrative.
No. Nope. If that's the case, did he interview for other jobs?
He reached out to the Jets. I do know that.
He reached out. That's a difference. That's a difference between interviewing and reaching out. Am I correct?
Correct.
So, what other position did he interview for? Damn, he just got quiet in here.
You said what other position
he interviewed for? Yeah, what other coaching position did he interview for besides North Carolina? Which is
that was because it was down there a lot for him going here. It was down there a lot for him going here.
What you mean by that? Explain that.
When he was on that yacht, was goddamn blank for 2 days. It was down there setting stone. He was coming here. Terry and them jumped their ass in the mix, and Rich McKay. That's how he ended up not going here. So he went to college.
Okay.
Like, stop it.
But what other coaching what
James,
other coaching positions did he interview for,
James,
Winston, besides college?
Let me tell you this. There's no way in hell. There is no way in hell you can sit there and tell me that a coach that never won a ring is better than a coach that have won 6 of those things.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that because the NFL.
That's really what you
Hold
said
saying. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Who would have gave us the best shot at winning a Super Bowl?
It wasn't gonna be Bill Belichick because Bill Belichick is past his prime, bro. What have he done within the last 3-4 years at the New England Patriots that shows me that we had a better shot of winning a Super Bowl win? Be honest about yourself.
What have we done in the past 3-4 years? What have we done in the past 3-4 years to show us that we got a better shot? What have we done? Because if I remember correctly, we still have a winning season.
But how can he get us? But how can he get us to a promised land when he got fired for losing season as well?
Been there. He done been there 6 times
with Brady.
Okay,
with Brady.
Real quick. All right, y'all. This is an article. It may give y'all some context. It may not. But this article says Bill Belichick interviewed with the Atlanta Falcons twice, meeting with team owner Arthur Blank. But the job was given to former defensive coordinator Raheem Morris. He was involved in talks with Washington about taking over the Commanders, but principal owner Josh Harris had misgivings about Belichick's ability to work within the structure.
Damn, goddamn.
Let's work within a structure, not about not a misgiving about his leadership and coaching ability. Two different things.
But
two different things.
But if he working with hold on. So why the structure the last 3-4 years didn't work in New England?
They had a damn talent. Who did they have?
Hold on. But a no talent that was that first year was a no talent team that was taken over by Mac Jones. Am I correct?
Mac Jones had how many good seasons since he's been in the NFL?
He had one.
He had one. As soon as they had tape on his ass, what happened?
But listen though, but that was basic. But
as soon as they had tape on his ass, what happened?
But that was basically the same team.
In Jacksonville now.
Listen. Nah, he ain't. But he a free agent now.
His ass about to be out of the league.
But the thing is, Winston, that was the same no talent. But that was the same no talent. That was the same. But that was the same. But Winston, you're moving the pole at this point because that was the same no talent team that Brady had. He took them to the playoffs.
Cap.
Within his last year.
That's cap. Because a lot of them boys left. Stop. That's cap.
On the other person that
was nowhere near the same team. Stop it. Ramondre Stevenson wasn't even there when Brady was there. Like, stop it. It's not the same
I'm talking
team.
about that first year.
That first year, it was nowhere near the same team that was when Brady was there. Because a lot of them boys left.
Because that was a no talent team as well.
Left. Stop
because
it.
Because they were questioning Belichick.
They
at that
retired
time
or left because the team was
draft
old.
pick.
The team was old.
Okay, Winston.
They stayed around because Brady was there.
Winston.
When Brady left, a lot of them people left.
Okay, Winston.
Come on,
okay, Winston. The goalpost has been moved beyond 100 yards at this point.
The goalpost ain't getting moved at all. All right,
it's been moved. It's been moved. I'm done with it. I'm done.
Just like Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson had how many rings with Jordan?
6.
All right. What did Phil do? Phil carried his ass to another team and showed that he could do it with a similar type of player.
He wasn't doing that in Atlanta, bro.
Phil did it in goddamn
He wasn't
LA.
doing that in Atlanta. He wasn't doing that in Atlanta.
Who?
He wasn't doing that in Atlanta, bro. Because he didn't do it within the past 3 years with New England, bro. He wasn't doing that in Atlanta. He wouldn't have
never had the same problem that we had. They didn't have a fucking quarterback.
So if
they didn't have a quarterback.
We didn't have a quarterback at the time.
I literally just said that. They had the same problem that we have. We did not have a quarterback.
So you saying he was going? I'm just saying,
You can't.
Winston.
I don't care. I
Winston,
don't care
Winston,
how you can
Winston.
have
He
an
was not doing
all-star
that in
team
Atlanta.
for the
He
other
was not
21
doing that in
starters.
Atlanta.
For the other 21 starters, you can have an all-star team. If you do not have a quarterback, you are not going to win shit. Point blank period. That's the
Winston, he's
go.
not
I
doing
don't
that
care
in
how
that.
you
Bill
want to slice it.
Belichick was
You can
not
slice
doing
it
that
however
in
you want to.
Atlanta.
You are not going to win without a quarterback.
So what makes you think he was proper for this job in Atlanta then if he didn't have the quarterback then and we ain't have the quarterback now, Winston? Listen to what you're saying.
He was going to pick the groceries here.
Bruh, the goalpost been moved 100 times already.
Oh,
Bruh,
we
what
was hiring
quarterback
him
you
for
thought he
a
was gonna
head
take?
coach. Now they give him the same
What
power that
quarterback?
he had in New England.
What
We was
quarterback he
hiring
would
him
have
for a
took?
head coach that was already established. They said that came in. Fontenot and them came in afterwards. Said, "Well, we don't want to give them all their power because they literally did the same shit with Arthur Smith and gave him all their power. And we saw
So
how that worked out."
all right then. So why would you go back to that if you know it didn't work with Arthur Smith, even though he's an incompetent coach at the time frame? But why
Bro,
you try that structure for a
I
second
know
time?
good and damn well you ain't sit there try to goddamn compare Arthur Smith to Bill Belichick.
I did not. I just said even
You
though he
you
was
just did.
incompetent.
You
I
just
said,
did.
did I say he was
You said,
incompetent?
and I quote, "Why would you want to do that if you just did that with Arthur Smith?"
Because for the simple
That's
fact it is
comparing the two.
Winston. That's not really comparing the two
Bro,
because I said he was incompetent.
Arthur Smith
He was
couldn't goddamn
incompetent.
sweep the driveway outside the house. Bill
And
Belichick is in the house with his feet up on the couch
but
with muddy
Belichick
boots
couldn't
on.
but
Stop it, bro.
Belichick
Stop it.
but Belichick couldn't sweep the last 3 years in New England, Winston. So what the hell are you saying?
We was hiring him for a
Am I
coach.
right?
He was not to be the GM.
Okay.
That's
He
literally
got
why he
fired.
left from New
He got
England.
fired because of losing season. But he wanted GM role over here though.
He
Ain't that
didn't
right?
want GM roll over here.
How is that? Because how is
Stop
that
it,
when he
bro.
wanted to pick his
Stop
own
it.
grocery? He wanted 100% of the power over his roster. That was
That's
part of the
cap.
contract negotiation Wednesday.
That's cap. Show it. Show it to me. Pull it up.
I pull up the
Pull up and
article.
read it. Because you capping right now. You capping right now to try to make a narrative. Stop it.
I'm not capping.
Stop it.
I know
I'm not.
Belichick wants sweet power.
Show it. Show it. Show me any article. Show me any article that said Bill Belichick won 100% of the power with the Atlanta Falcons
Over the roster.
over the roster. Show me that. Show
Over
me any
everything.
article.
And he was gonna get it too had he been hired.
Man,
So they were
stop
right
it.
to be scared.
Rich McKay won't
Yeah.
allow that to happen. Stop it. Stop the cap.
So that's
Rich
why they
McKay was
didn't
still in
hire
power
Winston.
then. Stop the
That's why
cap.
they didn't hire Winston.
You the one defending him.
But let me say this: when there are some reports that what's the Patriots owner name? Kraft.
Robert Kraft.
All right. When there's some reports that Kraft told Blank not to hire Belichick. Did those reports come out?
I ain't see it.
Yes. Yes.
You didn't see that, Winston?
No, I ain't see it.
Let me see if I can pull it up. I'll put it in the chat if I can find it. Y'all go ahead. I'm
told
trying to find it.
Hold on, what's the topic though?
Does Bill Belichick or goddamn Raheem Morris give us a better shot at goddamn winning the Super Bowl?
I think it would. I think this ain't even a question. Hands down, in my opinion, it's Bill.
Thank you.
What Bill?
The man got 6 rings, man. He know how to
Bill
do it.
Belichick.
It's common sense.
But what did he do? But I'm gonna ask you like I asked Winston, Coach. What did he do after Tom Brady?
When did he have a good quarterback?
Thank you.
But when we gonna have a good quarterback in Atlanta because he's going into the same situation.
But still, he would have been able to, we would have been able to draft a quarterback and get a quarterback. I mean, yeah, it's possible. Hold on. It's possible. Hold on. It's possible that he would have had the same issue here. But if you're going to say who gives us a better chance, you're basically putting the caveat to it that the exact same team would be here. So if the exact same team would be here, then absolutely Bill Belichick would give us a better chance to win the Super Bowl than Raheem. For sure. I mean, we've already seen what a Raheem-led team does. I'm not even quite sure what's the back and forth about.
I don't either, but
a Raheem-led Atlanta Falcons.
Why he lost out on the Falcons job. Why some of the other teams in the league considered him, the Eagles, Dallas, Washington, why they passed on him and didn't even end up talking to him. It looked ahead a little bit to next year, and some people around Bill Belichick thinking he'll never coach again and all of this. But the meaty stuff was what really happened with Atlanta. Why? Because after he originally met with Arthur Blank, Belichick thought, right up till the end, frankly, Belichick thought the job was his. And a lot of people thought the job was his until it wasn't. So what went wrong? I'll just read an excerpt here. On January 15th, 4 days after the cut you just heard, Arthur Blank, the owner, met one-on-one with Belichick aboard his 290-foot, $180 million super yacht named Dreamboat. And the A and the M are capitalized? What am I missing about that?
That's a dumbass name.
295 feet.
It's a big boat.
Can you wrap your head around that?
Yeah, again, just to give you an idea, the stern would be at home plate, the bow or bow would be at the left field wall at Fenway Park. That's 305 feet. So I'm giving it an extra 15.
The type of yachts you really only see in like Miami.
Russian oligarchs.
It's a freaking cruise ship is what it is.
It was Belichick's first official job. Oh, it was moored in Antigua, in case you were curious. It was Belichick's first official, or is that Antigua? However you pronounce it. It was Belichick's first official job interview since 1998 when he met with Al Davis. In a lengthy interview with Blank, Belichick showed no rust, sources said. Blank told colleagues that he was very impressed. Quote, I think Blank came away from the boat thinking this is my guy, a source close to Belichick said. Though from his vantage point, any momentum following that meeting seemed to die over the next week. A second meeting was planned with team CEO Rich McKay and other Falcons executives. Despite that friendly first session, the unthinkable happened for a billionaire and a legendary coach. Belichick and Blank both checked each other's references. Blank spoke by phone at least twice to Robert Kraft. Among the NFL owners, Blank considers Kraft his closest friend. Publicly, Kraft and Blank have said Kraft expressed only support and praise of his former coach. But in a conversation with Blank, Kraft delivered a stark assessment of Belichick's character according to a source who spoke to two people, a close Kraft friend and a longtime Belichick confidant. So again, this source spoke to sources close to each. Mm-hmm. And those sources said that Kraft delivered a stark assessment to Blank. The source quoted the Belichick source as saying, Robert called Arthur to warn him not to trust Bill. That account was backed up, the source said, by the close Kraft friend. Multiple sources said that Kraft spoke with some candor to Blank about Belichick, though the sources declined to elaborate. One source close to Belichick said Kraft was a big part of why the Falcons passed on hiring him. Again, one source close to Belichick said Kraft was a big part of why the Falcons passed. The sources said Kraft made clear to Blank that, quote, you'll never have a warm conversation with Belichick, echoing what Bill Parcells told Kraft in 96 when he wanted to bust the budget and hire Belichick. Quote,
can I butt in there real quick?
Sure.
That part really.
Okay, y'all know who that source is, right? That's that guy that was dissing the Falcons in the offseason last year. Y'all remember that? I forget his name. The guy who's real close to Bill Belichick. He worked for Belichick now. I forget his name. Y'all know what I'm talking about? I think his name Michael. The guy that was on all them podcasts dissing the Falcons.
Michael Lombardi.
I think that's his name, Michael Lombardi. Yeah,
Michael Lombardi. Lombardi.
Yeah, that's the source.
Well, I will say this.
Always been on.
I don't know. I don't believe. Even with Robert Kraft saying that, I don't believe that is why the Falcons didn't hire him. and this is why I say that, because if that was the case, they wouldn't have. Blanks wouldn't have gave him a second interview, and on top of that, if you guys remember when he gave his little press conference, I think he did it in his home or he was somewhere, and he was talking about it. To me, he looked upset and hurt when he was talking about it. It said that he got outvoted. Like he wanted him, but everything he does with this football team, he does by committee. So the other guys basically vetoed it, and that's why they got Raheem. I think Arthur Blank really wanted him. He just got outvoted.
Yeah, but hell, look, listen to what they sat there and said on the podcast. It wasn't that he was a bad coach or none of that shit. It was speaking about to being friendly to the staff. You're not gonna have a warm. I don't give a damn. If we win it, I don't need to talk to you at all.
Exactly.
I don't need to talk to you at all. You do.
That's my issue. That's my issue with Raheem.
In the ring, the Falcon organization is too buddy. That's why we keep having issues. They're not a dog in the organization. They're like bullshit. Like,
yeah.
So he said you'd never have a warm conversation. I don't care about a conversation with you. Hey, what's going on, bro? You good? Straight? All right, bet. Holler at you later. That's it. That's all I need. Hey, you can give me a head nod. If we win it, I don't care. You can be non-verbal. If we win it, if you throwing up gang signs out there on the field, and they understand what you talking about, and they out there execute, do whatever you do. I don't care. I just want to win.
So playing devil's advocate, out of all the teams who needed a coach that offseason, why did Bill go to another team?
Well, I think the Falcons were really the only ones interested in him to begin with. And I think like the guy on the podcast said, I think everybody just thought that Bill was going to the Falcons, so they went elsewhere. Like they like took him off their board, really put their energy into someone else because it was a foregone thought that he was going to be the Falcons' next head coach. And Blank just got outvoted. I truly don't think Arthur Blank cared about none of that because he gave him a second interview, and then when he did his press conference, he looked hurt talking about the situation. To me, anyway.
And long story short, you want to win or you don't. You don't
barbecue mildew.
Keep doing the same shit you've been doing. We got very proficient at losing.
So let me ask y'all this: if Raheem has a good season with the Falcons and Bill has a bad season with the Tar Heels, would y'all then agree that the Falcons made it, or vice versa?
I don't think, irregardless of the I ain't gonna say the outcome, because if he brings a Super Bowl, that's different. But barring a Super Bowl, I really don't think there's nothing that he can do that will change my mind into thinking that it was a good hire. Even if we don't hire Bill Belichick, like I don't understand the thought process of going back to the well if the well was already dry. Like, I get it. It wasn't his team, but we seen him in a leadership coach position before, and he was trash. So,
you mean when he was the interim coach?
Yeah.
But when he was at Tampa Bay.
Again, Toddy, I understand it's not his team. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But I have seen many interim head coaches come in and their team do some winning. Like,
all right. So, but coach, what year was that? 2019?
Was that 2019? Yeah, I guess that was 2019. Yeah.
18.
That
was 19. It 18?
No, it had to be 19. Because we got a new coach in 2020.
Never for 19.
What was that again?
Yeah, because that's when Terry. Because we got Kyle Pitts. And,
15.
oh
16,
no, was it
17.
2020?
No.
1, 2, 3, 4. No, it was 19, 20, 1, 2, 3. Or was it 20?
Oh, 2019.
No, Smith came in at 20.
Smith came in 20.
Smith came in 20.
So
Smith came in 20.
So Raheem was here in 2019. All right, so we'll just say 19. What I was gonna say is like, but was that team any good? Though, be honest, that team wasn't no good. That Atlanta had. Matt Ryan was washed up. Julio was hurt. We didn't have a shot. Defense wasn't that good.
But Tidy, think about what you're saying though. How do people become interim head coaches?
You be on a coaching staff normally,
right?
I think he was a wide receiver coach.
What has to happen in order for somebody to become interim head coach?
Normally, you're on that coaching staff already.
No. What
he said
happens?
The head coach got to get fired.
Exactly. Well, why do most head coaches get fired?
Because normally the owner feels like you are not doing an adequate job.
Right. In most instances, your team is trash and losing. Right.
Right.
Okay. So you can't say we was trash. Yeah, most teams are trash when their head coaches get fired.
That's my point, though, Coach. Like, if the team was trash, how can we expect Raheem to come in and do a stellar job? And you also got to keep in mind, these are not his players. This is not his team.
Again, that goes back to my point. I understand that, but we have seen many interim head coaches come in and their team does sometimes better than before the coach got fired. He comes in and we lost every damn game, if I'm not mistaken.
Nah, Coach, I think you put too much mustard on that word many of times. That's normally not the case.
Okay, so more often than not. I would say more often than not. Honestly.
I think the right word would be occasionally.
Nah, more often than that.
Well, give me 2 or 3 off the top of your head without Google.
I can't think off the top of my head. I would have to Google it.
That's my point. It don't happen. Because you got to look at it this way. When a coach get fired, normally the team is bad. So the interim coach, they normally don't come in and propel a team in the playoffs, and most times they don't. And then they normally don't keep the job at the end of the year. They go out and hire different coaches like we did with Arthur Smith.
Right. I just never liked it. I've been screaming.
But come on, Coach. That 2019 Falcons team was not good. You had an old Matt Ryan. You had a hurt Julio Jones. You had a bad defense. You didn't have a running game at the time. Like, we didn't have nothing.
Oh, yeah. We was trash. And again, I give it to him. It's not his team. I understand that, but still, I wish we'd have just went in a different direction. Because I seen then the same things I see now. Him standing on the sideline, chewing gum, looking stupid in the face, and wanting to be a cheerleader. I'm just not a fan of this, kumbaya. Always giving glowing reviews. Like you ain't heard him say nothing bad, no critique, no nothing about nobody. And you can't coach that way, bro.
I think this year will tell the story. This year will really be a good judge year for Raheem. I think the jury's still out. I'm not totally sold on him, and I'm not ready to throw him to the wolves either. I was actually campaigning for Bill Belichick, but they didn't hire him. But I don't think Raheem should have been fired after last year either.
No, I can tell you this: if with all the weapons we got, and if by week 5 our defense still looked the same, he got to go. week 5. That's as long as I give you.
You know what I'm saying? It's personal, man. It's personal.
What's
What do
personal?
you mean? Yeah, I take it personal, bro. I've been a fan for 35 years.
Coach's feelings to Raheem is personal.
Well, mind that.
He just don't like the guy. That's basically what it is.
I think Raheem is a good coach. Now, is Raheem
I don't know him not to like him.
I'm saying we can get to
is
the
Raheem
NFC
able to get us over the hump? I don't know.
And coach is still a dog.
But after this season, we'll have a more definitive answer.
Yeah, that was my whole point.
I can promise you that. Because now you got all the toys in the toy box. If you don't know how to use it after this season, yeah, you can slide some.
That's why I said week 5.
Because I'm gonna be honest, like what we should have did, in my mindset anyway, was the way that we drafted the first couple of years of Terry's regime. If we wasn't gonna get Bill Belichick, we should have got Ben Johnson.
But Winston, he wasn't coming here. He didn't want to come here. Cause you got to remember.
I would have threw the bag at Ben. Because you got you top heavy on offense.
But you got
had to catch up.
But you got to remember, he turned down interviews from the Falcons. He didn't want to come here.
I would threw a big bag at him.
He didn't want to come here. Where did he end up going? Ultimately,
Chicago.
He's Chicago.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams. Shit, no. Chicago would be a problem this year. They did all the right thing. I'm sorry, like Chicago legit did all the right thing this offseason. They got all the offensive weapons. They shorted their offensive line. They got their defense together. They got an offensive savant as the head coach. Like they did all the right thing. Chicago will make noise this year, and then next year they'll probably be like, I put it to you like that. Their next 2 year span will look like the Lions.
So you think Caleb ready to take the next step in his progressions?
Oh hell, they ain't gonna make him take the next step. But another thing too, though, Chicago offensive line last year was terrible. He was getting hit way too much. He was getting hit like what's that boy? Watson. I mean, Watson was with the Texans.
He actually got some weapons this year. That's the thing.
His receiving core crazy. Yeah, Keenan Allen, Rome Dunze, and what's that boy that left from Carolina?
Yeah, well, if I'm not mistaken, Allen was hurt a lot last year, and Dunze got hurt, if I'm not mistaken, as well, because I had both on my fantasy team.
Hey, like man, he got a squad. Caleb got a squad. Like there's literally no excuse for Chicago not to make noise this year, unless Caleb just ain't it.
Well, they got a tough division.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to win the Super Bowl, you gotta play tough teams anyway. So I'd rather have a tough division and go through the gauntlet to have me praying for the postseason. Instead of cakewalking through the regular season, then you get to the postseason against a team that's been battle tested all year, and it smacked the hell out you.
So I want to know this: what's y'all realistic expectations this coming season in order for you to say, okay, Raheem deserves another year in 2026? And don't say win the Super Bowl. Be realistic.
10 plus wins and at least a playoff win. Preferably making it to the NFC Championship game. But if we make it to the second round and be competitive, however it goes, win, lose, or draw, all right, Rob. I can rock with it.
So essentially, you're saying one playoff win.
One playoff win.
and be competitive in the second round.
What about you, Coach?
Well, I mean, I can't give you my answer because you told me don't say the Super Bowl.
No, you can't say win a Super Bowl. You gotta be realistic. This ain't a Super Bowl team.
But this is what I'm saying though. For me, for a non-rookie, now if he was a rookie, I would give him grace. But he's not a rookie head coach to make the mistakes he made last year. For me, it's issues in his coaching.
Quick question. Quick question. Does Raheem Morris have a top 8 quarterback in the NFL right now?
Top 8?
Yes.
I'm gonna say that answer is incomplete because I don't know what he is.
All right. So if you can't give a definitive yes, I don't really think it's realistic to expect the Super Bowl victory.
Oh no, I know we're not going to the Super Bowl, but the question was, what does he have to do in order for me to say that he should come back next year? And that's my answer. Like, barring that, I as I've said many a times, I thought Raheem should have never got the job. And after like game 4, I was calling for him to be fired, and I'm still on that train. Like, barring the Super Bowl, that's the only way, in my opinion, his job should be safe.
Yeah, but Coach, that you're putting unrealistic expectations on him. So you're pretty much setting him up to fail even before the season starts.
Well, again, Tyler, you asked me, but for me, what does he have to do?
Yeah, but I'm asking you also to be realistic too, though. Because if you ain't got Lamar, Mahomes, Josh Allen, if you can't say, yeah, I got one of the best quarterbacks in the league, you realistically can't say I have a Super Bowl team. Because in today's NFL, rarely will you win a Super Bowl unless you got a top 8 quarterback. That's just how the league is set up now.
No, what I'm saying is basically there is nothing that he can do for me to say he deserves to come back. That's why I'm saying I know we're not going to win the Super Bowl. That's not realistic at all. I'm saying, barring us winning the Super Bowl, that is the only way. So since we're not, for me, I'm ready to move on. I was ready to move on after game 5 of last year. So ain't nothing changed.
So if we and piggyback off Winston, so if we win 10 games, we win in the first round of the playoffs, and we have a competitive second round playoff game, but we lose, you feel like Raheem had a failure of a year?
No, I would think the Falcons had a failure. To me, Raheem is already a failure. Like how Red said about Kyle Pitts, ain't nothing Kyle Pitts can do in Red's eyes that he should stay in Atlanta. I feel the same way about Raheem. Barring a Super Bowl win, that is the only way. And even then, I'm congratulating the Falcons. I'm not really congratulating him because I know once you win, ain't no way they're gonna get rid of you. But yeah, no. I'm not a fan of Brian. I'm just not a fan of his style at all, period.
All right, what about you, Red?
That's what, Tidy. You ask the simplest questions, and you get the most complicated answers, man. The answer to this question is simple. If we make the playoffs, what is it going to take for Raheem to come back next season? Now, I'm not going to say what it's going to take for me because like Coach, and I'm sure like Tidy and every other Falcon fan, we know a successful season is the Super Bowl trophy. We all know that. What is it going to take for Arthur Blank to bring Raheem back next season, making the playoffs, win or lose?
That's what I'm kind of at too, Red. I think if we get in the playoffs, I think everybody's going to come back.
Yeah.
I don't even think we got to win the first round.
Not saying, Coach and everybody else go crazy. I don't think me and Titus saying we are satisfied with just making the playoffs. We are saying, what is it going to take for Raheem and Terry to come back? I want to win Super Bowl, to me, or at least sniff the NFC Championship game. To me, that's success. Anything less than that, none success. But what is it going to take for the coach and the GM to come back? Us making the playoffs, because that's something we ain't done in the last 7 seasons.
Right, and that's why I touched on the quarterback, because it's hard in today's NFL to ask a first-year full-time starter Michael Penix to, go very far in the playoffs. I know Jane Daniels did it, last year, but you saw what happened when he got to the, the conference championship game, and that's an anomaly. That don't happen very often. But if you can get your, Michael Penix, and he can get you in the playoffs, and you win the first playoff game, you lose the first playoff game, you get to the second round, I really think that's a building block, at that point, and you just, bring as many people back as you can and see if you can continue to progress. But go ahead, Coach.
No, I was just going to ask. Maybe I misheard. Were you asking what does Arthur what needs to happen for Arthur Blank, or were you asking what would we like? What would he have to do for me to want him to come back?
What would he have to do? I was asking you personally, but you saying Super Bowl.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, I'm like, what the hell is Red talking about there? Yeah, for me, my personally, that's what he would have to do.
Yeah,
I don't
you just took it to a whole other level. And I don't think Title wanted to go to, because I think Title worried. I know you're right. He did say it like that, but personally, you probably should have said, what is it gonna take for Raheem? What do you think it's gonna take for Raheem and Terry to return next season? Instead of saying, what do you think you want Raheem Terry? Because see, now Coach finna make this thing personal, man. And you see
you're right, Red. You're right. I worded that incorrectly. You're absolutely right.
Okay, so what is that? So then what's the question? What do I think they have to do to be back next year?
Yeah, what do you think it's gonna take for them to come back next season?
Oh, well then, there would be a playoff win. Yeah, for sure.
I'm saying, what do you think Arthur gonna bring them back if we just make the playoffs and say we make the playoffs and it's a competitive game and we lose by like a field goal in the end? You think they'll be back?
Yeah, I think he'll be back.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Now we all.
I thought he was asking what for me to want him to come back. What does he have to do?
I got where you were coming from.
That's why I said. That's why I said that.
Yeah, you are right, Coach. That is what I asked. So you are absolutely right. But like Red said, I didn't phrase the question correctly.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. If it's asking what the organization has to see, I think a playoff win, competitive. I mean, unless we get absolutely dog stomped, losing by a touchdown too in a playoff game. Yeah, I think they'll run it back with everybody.
Because then that'll be a home playoff game too. And I ain't trying to get dog stomped in front of a home crowd.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. If we make it to the playoffs, y'all can say I got low expectations. I'm good. Based on where we've been these last 6-7 years, man, I just want to get to the postseason. And if you get to the postseason, that means you won more than you lost in a regular season. And with a young quarterback, I think you can build off that, man. So I would be okay. I want to win in the playoffs, but I'm good.
Just don't get dog stumped.
But Tiny, here's the thing, and this is what infuriates me with our fan base, because most of us who have been fans for years realize that we didn't start going to the playoffs till Matt Ryan got here. So anybody who say one playoff win isn't enough or it's not a successful season, we wasn't getting that before Matt Ryan got here. We made the playoffs every now and then, and even then we got mollywopped in the playoffs. Like y'all done got spoiled, from the Matt Ryan era, because we wasn't making playoffs on the record.
I won't say spoiled, because, and the reason I say that, because the second half of Matt Ryan's career, we stopped winning. Like after 17, we stopped winning. So you had 18.
No, we didn't. We won in 18 and 19.
No, we didn't win it. We didn't win 18.
18. Yeah, we did. We were one. We were Julio Jones catching the damn ball away from going back to the Super Bowl.
No, that was 17. 18,
That was
19,
17.
20, 21. That was straight losing. Like the last 4 years of Matt Ryan's career in Atlanta were horrific, bro. and I'm not saying it was his fault, but we stopped winning when he was.
But I mean, even still, we were spoiled by the fact that he was winning because before that, before Matt Ryan, hell, I would say, because really it was Michael Vick. Michael Vick really got us to somewhat win on the regular, but definitely once Matt Ryan got here, every year there was a potential for us to go to the playoffs. That wasn't so before Matt Ryan got here. He wasn't saying, okay, every year we're going to the playoffs, or every year it's possible we go to the playoffs. Nobody was saying that about the Falcons before Matt Ryan. Once Matt Ryan got here in the Matt Ryan era, every year we could legitimately say, okay, we have the ability to go to the playoffs.
Not the second half of his career. That's
well, again, but still, we were spoiled by that fact. So I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you when you say, basically what I'm saying is, don't say, you don't have to give that disclaimer about us going to the playoffs because we're spoiled. Yeah, playoff win. Us going to the playoffs should be celebrated and considered a winning season because we wasn't doing that before Matt Ryan got here. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
It would be 19. Well, I mean, excuse me. It'd be what 2000 and previous. We're returning back to 2000 before Matt Ryan got here or Michael Vick got here.
Yeah, but folks, I gotta push back because once you get a taste of success, you going to sleep. You want to keep that feeling. It's just like the Braves before 91.
True.
Remember the Braves before 91? Now you can say, well, before them 14 straight division championships, y'all was playing like shit, which the Braves were. I mean, 100 losses. Ty, remember, you could just pencil in 100 losses for the Braves back in the 80s.
They were so goddamn garbage, bro.
I mean, trash, man.
They was worse than the current Falcons.
Right. Yeah, but the difference between that is they actually went and won a championship. Falcons ain't never done that.
That's
so matter of fact,
getting it done.
Matter of fact, Red, here's even more so against what you just said. Since Matt Ryan has been here, we've only won 3 playoff games, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he won 4. He won 4.
Okay, because he won 1, and then we got trounced by Green Bay, and then he won the 3 that took us to the Super Bowl. You right? So ain't like we got a buttload of wins in the playoffs. So that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, what Toddy don't need to say, it's unpopular because I mean it should be okay to say 1 win. Us going to the playoffs is a good season because that's all we've ever really had. That's where I'm getting at.
Right. That's just our history, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah. Ain't like we got 20 wins.
Change, man. I want to get back to the early Matt Ryan years where we know we making the playoffs every year. That's why folks can actually want to come over here and play with us.
Right.
Well, we should have went to the playoff last year.
Well,
let's
not go backwards now. We're trying to move past.
That's because the quarterback fell off the train.
Like,
I mean, even with him falling off the train, we still had it.
That goes
exactly
because when you see the quarterback in a 3-game skid that look that bad, you don't let him play a 4th game. Because obviously there's
Nah,
something going on
you
there
can't.
because and you in the midst of a playoff hunt too. Yeah, you don't let him play the fourth game.
Nah, you can't sit your $100 million man.
No, you
But I
can't.
will
They
say,
still,
I will
set
say,
his $100 million head.
I will say,
He's not gonna see the field at all this year unless.
I understand that, but during the season, they wasn't thinking that.
If you're in the middle of a playoff hunt and he done produced that badly, those first 3 games out of that 5-game skid, you sit his ass. Because at this point, he's more detrimental to the team than what he's doing good for the team.
But that's
and as
it's
the
not.
head coach, you got to do what's best for the team.
But it's not that easy to do.
You gotta let him.
You gotta
let
play
him
that out.
try and fight it out. Yeah, you gotta let him
fight that out.
Yeah, he fought out. How'd that work out?
We lost, but that's what coach is saying because of the financial politics of it.
Understand? I get all that. I get all that. But we let them fight it out. What happened at the end of the fight?
We lost.
But Winston, what you're failing to realize though, even during that, we still could have made the playoffs. That's what I'm saying. Taking Kirk out of it, we still had the chance to win. We lost games we shouldn't have lost. Won by the debacle that the timeout, or as me and Tidy like to point out, the fact that the new crown king can't throw touch passes. Whichever camp you want to fall on to blame, have at it. We could have won that game.
I blame both of it.
We could have won that game. We could have won cool kicking. And if we just won those 2 games, we'd have made it. So even with Kirk falling off, it still, in my opinion, was a coach and player issue.
So Winston, which game would you preferably pull Kirk out to try
after
to
the
change
third
the
one?
trajectory? So that would have been you'd have pulled him out to the Chargers game.
Most definitely.
All right, now let me tell you probably why they didn't pull him out to the Chargers game. Because the following week you going into a very hostile environment against a great Minnesota team on the road, and you want to set your rookie up for the most success you can. And I don't think bringing him in against Minnesota would have been an optimal time for him to start his first NFL game against that team. I think that's probably why they didn't start him against Minnesota. Maybe if we'd have played in Atlanta, maybe so.
So what was the next game? Because Kirk won the next game.
We played the Raiders after that.
Played the Raiders. Okay. All right. Pennis could have played against the Raiders.
But again, you're using hindsight. Hindsight is 2020. I believe at the time they're like, at the time they're like, man, we just paid him $100 million. We can't just sit him on the bench. Let him fight through it. Let him fight through it.
Kirk won against the Raiders, and they still sat his ass on the bench.
Okay, so all right, so Winston,
that makes no sense.
What was Penix's first game?
The game after the Raiders game.
That would have been the Giants game, right?
He played the last 3 games of the season.
Okay, so that's the Giants game. Now, this is what I'm saying. Michael Penix in his first NFL start, he was 18 for 27, 202 yards, 1 interception, and he had a 73 quarterback rating. If you bring him in that Minnesota game on the road against that defense, they'd have crushed him. They'd have crushed him. We played the Giants. Okay. We played the Giants, and he put up meager stats.
That's why I said he could have played against the Raiders.
But we won that game. But we won the game.
True. But we still probably would have won the game with Penix playing too. It ain't like Kurt took and lit up the field. He played like trash.
No, that's
why they benched his ass after the game.
That's true, because he played badly. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that far in the season, even if you bring Penix in, I don't think we're gonna win any of those games that we lost with Kirk Cousins, with Michael Penix playing.
Maybe not. It's a maybe not. All I'm saying is he could have played against the Raiders, had an extra game on his belt before he went and played the Giants. who is a better team than the Raiders. They're a better team than the Raiders. That defensive front that the Giants got is serious. It was serious last year, and it's more serious this year.
But we won both of those games, though.
Understandable. What I'm saying is for Pennett's progression, because now you're getting into the crunch of the season where every game counts. So you should have played him against the Raiders so he could have started getting acclimated to the NFL. So then when you get into the crunch of the season, it ain't his second start or his third start. It's his third start, his fourth start.
But bro, again, even if you take it, okay, using your talking point. All right, boom. Kurt played like shit. They should have switched him earlier. They didn't. Now we here. Now we at the point where Michael Penix is playing. We still are in the hunt. We still drop what? We dropped three games or 2 games with him starting.
Lost 2 out of 3.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we lost. That's right. We lost 2 out of 3. And those 2 games were still easily winnable if, again, depending on what camp you are, you had better coaching or our quarterback was better. And then the other one is if goddamn a man who has one job actually did his one job. So, I mean, Kurt falling off hurt, but we still had a chance to make it and we didn't do it.
And what I think about that too, because like for me, when you give a quarterback $100 million guaranteed for only 2 seasons, that means that first year you gonna sink or swim with that guy.
Absolutely,
you gonna sink or you gonna swim with him for that first year. And to me, that's why they gave him all them opportunities. Because honestly, that wasn't Raheem's decision to make alone. He had to sit down at the table with all the big dogs and say, okay, we're gonna sit Kurt and we're gonna go in this direction.
I mean, Toddy, that makes so much sense that I think it was on a Waffle House, or it may have been an eye test. I was like, ain't no way they gonna sit this dude down. It just did not register to me that an organization will pay $100 million for a player and don't let him sink or swim that full. Like you said, that full year, you got to ride him out and then sit him on the bench. But
did he play the full year?
No.
All right, so that's obsolete.
That means Winston, that means that means they sunk with him. That means they sunk with him.
You couldn't have sunk with him because we're still in playoff contention. So you didn't sink with him.
They did sink with him because you got to think. You're saying you should have played him.
We sunk because of him. There's a difference.
No, we sunk with him. The reason I say that, if Kurt was playing here on $18 million a year, they'd have signed him after the second, third at most consecutive bad game. But when you give a guy that much money, you got to ride it out. And I use a baseball analogy. You know, sometimes your best hitter be in these bad slumps, and you can't pull him out the lineup. You got to let him fight his way out. And unfortunately for Kurt, and unfortunately for us, Kurt just could never get out that slump. But you can't pull him out. You got to let him fight that out because there's so much money allocated to him.
And still, at the end of the day, it wasn't him that kept us out of the playoffs. I'm gonna just keep saying that. Like, I'm not sure why we talking about him. Yeah, he lost some games, but he was not the cause. We still had ample opportunity to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
why we
didn't even with his bad play.
Where you had a bad field goal kickers, we just typical Falcon shit.
That's why you gotta get that field goal kicker a little closer.
And then we get to Carolina at home, and we got Bryce Young looking like a young Patrick Mahomes.
A quarterback that can't make a 5-yard throw is just, I mean, like, how y'all give him a pass for that is just beyond me. I don't give a good goddamn if he only way that is okay with me, he ain't never picked up a football day in his life. You can't make a 5-yard pass, bro. and the dude in front of you wide the fuck open, like literally nobody is around him. Yeah, nah, hell no.
You know me, coach. I ain't giving. I pointed that out.
I know. Me and you both pointed it out immediately. I'm just saying the fan base. I don't get that one. I understand you riding for your new quarterback, but you should be able to call a spade a spade. That's what I'm getting at.
I mean, that was one of his biggest knocks when he came in the league.
But bro, I say, but Winston, this is what I'm saying. I say that over and over and over and over. You know how many people tell me I don't know what I'm talking about? Michael Penix was the most accurate quarterback in college. This, that, and the third. I'm like, dude, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand the blind loyalty.
See, like that's what a lot of people get hung up on. They think because a quarterback can push the ball on the field with accuracy, that makes him a great quarterback. Being a great quarterback is mastery of all the nuances.
Yeah.
I can hit the short, I can hit the intermediate, I can hit the deep, I can hit inside the numbers, I can hit outside the numbers, I can put touch on the ball, I can layer the ball. Like, that's a good quarterback. If you're a one-trick pony, you're a one-trick pony. If I don't have to worry about you doing that short, all I got to do is play deep, and that effectively take you out of the game.
I mean, I just don't understand. I guess I'm just different. I guess I got to get that people are just gonna have blind loyalty. I can't do it. I'm gonna always call a spade a spade. I'm not gonna blindly. And I love my Falcons, but I'm not gonna blindly follow no goddamn body. I'm gonna call it out. And the fact of the matter is, I mean, that was twofold. He makes that pass, we get closer, maybe Koo makes that kick. But Koo got to make the kick, and our defense got to show up. I mean, it ain't just him. But what I'm saying is, there's no way in hell a quarterback in the NFL shouldn't be able to make a 5-yard pass to a wide the fuck open person.
I'm gonna be honest though. Like, from what I saw and actually seeing him in person and shit, I think he'll make the jump. I legitimately like. There's players that when they first start off, you want them to still be good at whatever they was good at in college, and then you want to see flashes of the thing that you wanted them to work on. Like, you can see the flashes. You can see the flashes from him. See, like with Troy Anderson, you never saw a flash. You only saw one great game. He had one great game. Outside of that, you never saw flashes. You just saw him being fast.
Winston, can you say that again, please, if you don't mind, sir?
So with Troy Anderson, you never saw flashes of potential. He had one great game, but you never saw flashes. All the other games, he was either getting blown off the block, out of position and covered, missing assignments, missing tackles. Like, it's a train wreck. It's like a train wreck happening in slow motion, and you're stuck because you just in awe of what you're seeing.
It's like I'm gonna let you go rather than this, coach, but it's just like the guy using the NBA analogy. He averaged 8 points a game in all 82 games, but one or two games a year he gonna give you 26, 27 points. That's not really who he is. He just got lucked up that night. But go ahead, coach.
What I was gonna say is, that, and I'm gonna catch hell, which I don't get. I really don't care. But I mean, that to me when I hear the Michael. This is why I say, me personally, I need to see more from Michael Penix, because everyone keeps saying he got flashes, this, that, and the third, but his stats were eerily similar to the greatest quarterback we ever had, that took us to multiple Super Bowls. So I don't know what was so different, but their numbers are quite similar.
Who you talking about? Multiple Super Bowls?
You only been to two. And there was two different quarterbacks, Chandler and Ryan.
No, I said, I said his numbers were eerily similar to the quarterback that should have taken us to multiple Super Bowls.
Oh, should have took him. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. The greatest quarterback we ever had, according to some people, after 4 games.
You talking about Vic?
No, talking about Ritter.
Oh, man, dog.
I should have known that after the 4-game part.
Goodness. Woo, not really.
But bruh, look at their numbers. They are almost similar.
Ritter almost beat us when we went to Oakland. Don't forget that part. He almost get the ass up.
Bro, that would have been such a dark cloud whether we lost that game. You would have been sick. Oh God.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I said, look at this motherfucker here.
Now, Coach, you talking about blind loyalty, man. We had so many people capping on Ritter that year. Oh my, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But anyway, he gone, so it don't matter.
Say that again, Toddy.
I was just rambling. I just said you had so many. When you speak of blind loyalty, you had so many fans acting like Desmond Ritter was the next coming to Matt Ryan. After them 4 games.
That's what I'm saying. He was the greatest quarterback that ever played for the Falcons and would have took us to multiple Super Bowls. But what me saying that is in direct comparison to Michael Penix. Do I think Michael Penix is a better quarterback? Yes. Do I think Michael Penix will be a better quarterback? Yes. But the same way people were crowning Desmond Ritter after 4 games is the same way they crowning Michael Penix after 4 games, and their numbers look eerily similar. That's my point.
You're right.
Yeah, I can understand that, but like, all right, have you seen Ritter play? Like,
yeah, I get it. Penix looks like a better quarterback.
I ain't talking about on TV. I'm talking about like in live action. Have you seen him?
No,
play?
I've never seen him play live. Not yet.
Yeah, bro. Look, I put it to you like that. Like the way the ball jumps off his hand, that shit is fucking different.
But Winston, they may not have said that about Desmond, that the ball jumps off his hands, but man, it was whatever other tangible. Oh, he has this, he has that. You should see him this, that, the third. It's the exact same way people are speaking about Penix. They were speaking about Ritter.
Well, with that said, gentlemen, hopefully we get it right this year, 2025. We're going to have plenty of time to talk about it, but I got to get us out of here. So after 4 o'clock here on the East Coast, I know it's probably just 3 o'clock there where you at, Coach. So we'll go ahead and say our final words. Coach, I know you and James got y'all show coming up pretty soon. The people that are still with us, make sure to tell them about that and, let them know where they can find you gentlemen at when you do get started.
Me and James got the Coach's Corner coming up soon as the preseason starts. We will be talking all things Falcons football. So come join us and have a good time.
Yeah, so y'all make sure to subscribe to the Coach's Corner. Also, y'all need to post the link somewhere, Coach, and that way everybody can follow it. Because I don't even think I'll follow the page yet. So send it to my inbox if you don't mind. James, if you still there, do you got anything you want to add? I think James gone. He might be on Call of Duty. Red, let everybody know where they can find you at, man, and go ahead and plug your show.
Yeah, y'all know what I do Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Red and Real Sports Show. That'll be in what time is it, Ty? About
4 o'clock.
Yeah, be in about 7 hours. Y'all can get up, pour your bowl of cereal, get ready to hear what's been up. Okay, wrap it up. Hear what's been going on for the week. Y'all know how to do. Find me on my Facebook page Monday through Friday. Appreciate you having me tonight, Tidy. Waffle House, Falcon fans, rise up, baby.
Come on.
All right, Brother Winston. Sir, please do the honors and take us to the house.
Come on. You can catch me and my partner, Mr. John Harris. Everybody on the panel, we'll be rocking out Wednesday night at 10 p.m. on the iTest on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook, the iTest group too. Start at 10. Start off with Falcon content. Ain't no telling where the conversation gonna go, but you're gonna enjoy the ride along the way. Appreciate you, Tyler, for having us on tonight. It's been a long time, but highly enjoyed it.
Yes, sir. Thank everybody for coming on, and y'all make sure to check out the Coach's
Yeah,
Corner.
man, it's been too long. I understand you got life, but I need my Friday nights back, bruh.
Hey, the season about to start, bro. So we about to crank this thing back up, man. I promise y'all, bro. I promise.
Tyler been too busy making them $1 million deals, man. That's what's going on.
I wish,
nah, he been too busy walking in the woods playing with mushrooms and shit.
Ford and Chanterelle.
Hey, Ty, I'm still waiting on my plums, man.
Well, you know, green plum season over now, bro. That's over with. Bro. So now we're in plum clock season now. So, but I got you. You know, I hook you up, bro. I hook you up. But yeah, let me thank y'all for coming through, man. Like y'all said, it's been a long time, but we about to crank this thing back up on a regular basis, man. Appreciate y'all coming in. Make sure to check out the Coach's Corner. Make sure to check out the Rib and Run Show, and also make sure to check out the eye test. We will be back before y'all know we gone. Peace.
Peace.
All right, gentlemen, y'all have a great